Hi, folks. I just got here. Let me bring my friend Joe up. I just got here. I just turned this thing on.
Hey,
And
Larry.
Joe, oh my God, I didn't even send out half the. I think I sent one to. I don't know. Anyway, I think Eddie's coming on. Eddie called me. He said he's out to dinner. He'll be on. I think I sent one to him. I don't know.
Ron can't make it. He apologizes. He can't make it tonight.
Oh, right. Yeah, I sent Ron one. Okay.
Anthony coming?
No, Anthony's packing for Italy. So it's
that's
going
right,
to
he's
be
going to
me.
Italy.
It's going to be me, you, and Eddie.
Me and you and a dog named Boo.
Me, you, and Eddie. So we'll wait till Eddie comes on. I asked Anthony to get a hold of who was
Charlie?
the one that got a hold of Charlie last time. Was it Anthony?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a hold of Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Always laughing, always smiling.
I heard Kevin Wallace is not doing well.
Kevin Wallace called me last night.
He did.
Yeah. And yeah, he's not doing good. He called me last night, and what they put that poor guy through. I don't want to get into details, but they chopped him up pretty good, and he's at the point now where it's that chemotherapy gets you to the point where you don't even want to live.
Yeah, you want to give up.
And that's what I think he even mentioned that. He says, I had it. I had enough. I just had enough. And that's how it gets you. It gets you where you just don't care.
He's pretty young, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He's a great trainer, a great driver.
Yeah. And I sent him all the information. And I told him, I says, I heard about you about 2 months ago. And I did. But I don't want to go around playing God that everybody here that has cancer, I want to call on to them about.
Yeah.
So I didn't say nothing. And I told him that. I said, because I know, hey, look, since I had my problem, 3 good friends of mine died.
Oh, well.
And I gave them all the information, but their doctors told them that they couldn't prescribe it, and that chemotherapy was the way to go, and they're dead. So all I know is that it's a terrible fucking disease. It's just terrible.
Sure.
And then I got a call. In fact, let me put these comments up. I got a call from, let's see. Okay. There's Sundance. Sundance called me, or she texted me, and she says, remember that girl, Angelique, that comes on all the time?
Yeah.
Well, the reason she wasn't on last time was her father just died.
Oh.
Our condolences to you, Angelique.
Yeah, Angelique.
That's too bad.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you get. I was just talking to my friend just before. When you get to be this age. No, I was in the dog park. And here comes this guy just barely making it through the. And I said, the old lady, he sits down and he says, old age it's a bitch. It turns out that I was older than him, but I was in better shape than him. And it's just tough. Every call you get is not a good call. Today is my brother's birthday, and he's in a hospital dying. And he basically
Peter?
Yeah, Peter.
Oh, God.
He basically gave up. I just called my sister, and my sister says that his wife, Elaine, goes to the hospital, and she tries to get him up, and he don't want to do nothing. So I guess he gave up. He's been through a lot. He's been through a lot in the last 15, 20 years. He tried. He got very heavy. I think he always said he had something wrong with his thyroid. He had a sluggish thyroid, whatever it was. I don't know. He gained a lot of weight, and he went for that belly thing. He went for all these kind of operations, and nothing ever helped. And he just kept getting bigger. And before you know, he was 350 pounds and 400 pounds, and
That's
then
a killer right there.
You just kind of and I think from what I hear from my sister that he just kind of gave up. I mean, he's in the hospital now. Elaine goes there, tries to get him out of bed to try to, and I think he just had it. You know, I'll tell you, it's not that hard to fall into that. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to fall into, total depression and just want to give up. Especially when it's different if you're 20 or 30 or 40, and but when you're 70 and 80 and 90, and
yeah, it's tough.
What the fuck? I mean,
everybody wants to live long, but I tell you what, as the years go by, it gets tougher and tougher for everybody.
The dues are tough. The dues are tough. So I hope he's okay. Today's his birthday.
I hope so too.
I don't know. And then my other friend Loomis, the guy who's doing the Russell Buffalino story, he was supposed to meet me today, but he called me up this morning and said that his father's loaded with cancer, and he had to send for hospice. And so it's like every phone call, every phone call,
depressing, negative.
It's not a good phone call. So, oh boy, let's see. Let me go down this list here. Well, Eddie's going to come on in a little while. Let's go down the list. It would be appreciated if you could hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button. Okay, Sundance. Joe, Anthony, Eddie, Mike, Freddie, Billy. Hello to all. Hello, Sundance. Where you been? You all right? I guess so.
Hello, Sundance. What would I do here?
Oh, I dropped my pad.
That's all right. I dropped you. Let me see.
Okay, here's Manny. Let's see what Manny says. Hey, Larry, Rolla, I wanted to come on tonight and see the boys and hear you tell me to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I'm off stage for some reason, Larry.
I see you. I see you and I hear you.
And I don't see you. I don't know what I hit. Put using timeout. Stop. Put timeout. Boop.
Why don't you just shut everything down and then hit the thing again?
All right, I'll try. If not, see you tomorrow.
All right, you're back. Do you see me?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I think you got to shut the whole thing off. Just end it like you were ending it.
Oh, boy.
Eddie's coming on. I want to talk to Eddie about HISA and Poco Lopez.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
You all right now?
You see me?
I see you.
All right, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, so let's go down. All right, now, Manny, let me just say this, Manny, because Manny says, I wanted to come on tonight and see you boys. Okay. First of all, I sent out the last, I don't know if you've been watching Manny or not, but the last 3 times I did a podcast, I got frozen, and then my picture went black. In fact, one time when Freddie was on, nobody could hear me. Freddie told me on the phone how to end the show. So now it's because I had more than 4 people on. I've been trying to get a hold of StreamYard to find out why my picture always goes black. So because I thought I could have more than five, I thought I could have 5 people on, and if I wanted more, I had to pay a certain amount. I don't know, but there's no phone number for StreamYard. You can't get to them. The only way you can get to StreamYard, from what I understand, from my is to here's Eddie now. Is to go on Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and they may answer your questions. So okay, there. Hi Ed.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Eddie.
I'm answering your friend Manny. He wants to come on. He says he wants more abuse, so I can tell him to shut the fuck up. But anyway, the last bunch of podcasts I had on, I got shut off. I had 5 people on, and then one day 4 people on. So I can't get to StreamYard where I do this. And maybe one guy says maybe you shouldn't have 5 people on, because it always happened when I had 5 people on. So now I sent out 5 things to see if it happened again, because my other friend Tom says it shouldn't happen. So I don't know. So Manny, just wait a while and let me see if I black out or not, and just stay there. Because Manny, we want you to be a successful. The last message I got from you, Manny, was that in 7 years you're going to be the top thoroughbred trainer. So, being that you're my friend and you're Eddie's friend, we want to help you along. So it's probably better you don't come on and just shut the fuck up and listen, and we can help you out a lot. But if I stay on, if I don't get frozen and blacked out, I'll and nobody else comes on, because we sent I sent 4 emails out. If they don't come on, we'll get you on a little while. I just want to see if I get frozen, because if I get frozen tonight, that's it. I'm going to cut it off, because I just sent 3 payments, $300 and something each, to keep this thing going, and it keeps. Was you on with me one night when we froze, Eddie?
No, I see. I was. A couple. Joe froze, and then Anthony froze, and you froze one time, and it was horrible. Yeah.
The other night with when you had Billy O'Donnell on, you were blacked out.
Yeah. That's right. Billy O'Donnell made a comment. He says, "That's all right. We all know what you look like." And that's right. I blacked right out. And that's what happened. As soon as Billy came on, I blacked out, because Billy came on halfway through the show. He just left the paddock or something in Canada, and as soon as he came on, I blacked out. So let me just wait a while. Let's see what happens. And then if nothing happens in a little while, if you're still, I know what Manny's doing. Manny's out in the backyard. The weather's beautiful. He's smoking a cigar. So I hope you got a long one, because if you're still smoking in a little while, we'll put you on. Okay. And please don't give us any advice, Manny. We have enough advice. Okay, just so you know, Eddie, Angelique, her father died last time.
Oh, Jesus! My condolences.
Girl, yeah.
Oh,
man. That's why she hasn't been on.
Okay,
the Sundance says hello to Manny, and Manny says hi, Sundance. We'll go down this, and then I want to talk to you about something, Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, HISA added again. Poco Lopez suspended 6 months for illegal use of the whip. Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about. So we'll get back to that. Let me just go down this list a little bit, and then we'll get back to that. Anthony, I talked to Charlie on the phone. He said when I get back, he'll come on. Okay, Anthony's not coming on because he's going to Italy tomorrow or Thursday, and he's packing, and he's got a lot to do. So I told him have a good trip. And
Anthony, if I don't see you, have a great time.
I said eat a lot of cannolis.
Leave the gun.
Okay, Manny, Eric, they were worried about a whip. What about the drugs?
Manny keeps going.
Manny keeps going. He never stops. What about the drugs? Let's go back to Manny. Eric, they're worried about the whip. What about the drugs?
He's right.
They say, yeah, he's 100% right. But I mean, they do you know that
Why? You know
Lisa
why?
never called me back?
Huh?
That Lisa, she never called me
Nah.
back. Never called back. They sent a letter out, but they sent a whole thing out that because they got my email. Because I was talking the email I sent them. I was talking about the heart attacks and this and that. And what probably is the cause of the heart attacks? They're looking in the wrong direction. They're going in the wrong direction. They're breaking all the rules and everything else. And then they sent a big thing out the other day. Freddie sent it to me. I should have put it up, but I've been so busy this week. I'm working.
You know
on
what it is? I found out the other day. I was sitting with one of the state stewards when we were talking, a friend of mine, and he says, Eddie, no matter what we do or say between NYRA and HISA, they sweep everything under the carpet. And that's coming from a high source.
Well, the guy, I'm not going to say too much. I got a little more work to do. I've been working very, very hard. I conquered all the stumbling blocks. I got one more. I was telling Joe about it just before you came on, before we went live. I got one more thing before I patent this thing. I got one more thing to conquer. Once I conquer that, look out.
Yeah, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead. Okay, let's go down a little bit more and then we'll start talking. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mike. Eric, Larry, find a video of the race he got 6 months for. Outrageous. We're going to talk about that in a little while, Eric. Okay, here's Francis. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Francis.
Hello,
Good evening.
Francis.
Broke horseman. There aren't any drugs in racing. Fake news. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
Broke horseman. Steve. Good evening, guys. Hi, Steve.
Hello,
Hi, Steve.
Steve.
Mike. Sorry about your brother, Larry. Yeah, me too.
What's the matter with your brother?
He's in a hospital. Today's his birthday. That's why I mentioned it. I don't think he's listening, but I told my sister if she ever gets a hold of him to wish him a happy birthday. He's in a hospital. He's not doing well. I think he kind of gave up. I think he's tired of fighting. He's been having a rough time of it. And
my prayers for him, Larry.
yeah.
I know Peter a long time. Jesus.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And also, you weren't here when I mentioned it to Joe. Kevin Wallace called me.
Yeah.
And he's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, I heard he had pancreatic cancer or something.
Yeah, he's
That's the worst.
he's in bad shape. And
My mother got it 3 weeks. She was gone.
Yeah.
he told me that he couldn't take it no more. He just can't take it. He don't want to. Everything they're doing, they chopped him up pretty good, and they between the chemo and everything else they're doing, and you should have heard him last night on the phone. It was so sad. He says, Larry, I can't do it no more. I can't do it. And I said, well, and I gave him all that information. I says, just call him up. And then I got the thing from Sundance saying Angelique's father died. And then my friend Loomis, I was supposed to meet him this afternoon for lunch. And he called me early this morning. He says that he had to get hospice for his father. His father's loaded with cancer. He's doing really bad. And then I got 2 other calls. I mean, you just
Been a bad week.
Just not a good week. So that was it. Steve says, sorry to hear about your dad, Angelique. Yeah. Okay, Manny says, Eddie is out to dinner, eating away, posting every picture of his food. It looks good.
Yeah, I went to this place called Bonavita, and we had chicken scaparelli, fettuccine cabanero, and roasted duck with raspberry sauce.
Wow.
That don't mix.
What? I had the raspberry duck. They had the other stuff. Then we had black coffee. We had,
How fresh do you think that duck was?
How
I mean,
fresh?
Yeah. How do you know?
I spoke to
probably-
Donald when I walked into the restaurant.
Yeah. Trump?
It was very fresh because it was very sweet and it was cooked to perfection. It was a half a duck, and usually if I order duck, I don't order it from Chinese because I forget about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's pigeon,
what
duck,
that is.
swan.
That might
I
not
don't
be
know
a
what it
duck.
is.
Might be a
Cat,
pigeon.
dog.
All right,
I never ate duck in my life. I
It's
don't know.
good.
Steve
It's all
says,
dog
"Yeah,
meat."
Sorry to hear about your brother. Yep. Well, my brother, he's 80, 83, I think. 83 today. 83 today.
Today is Eddie Gomaris's birthday. He's 87.
Eddie Gramaris?
Yeah, I seen him on Facebook. I wished him happy birthday.
We should get him on the show. He's one of the old guys from Monticello.
Monticello, yeah, me and him were up at G.
Yeah, him and his wife.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah. Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
yeah.
Eddie, if you're watching.
Yeah, happy birthday. You get in touch with all of these people. You should ask them to pop on the show.
Larry, I don't know if you can put, if you
I
want
don't
him
know. I'm
on.
going to see if I black out tonight. If I black out tonight, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's gotta be the internet. It's gotta be something
Yeah,
to
but I
do.
test the internet speed. The internet speed for in and out is over 600. When I used to do it in the studio in the basement downstairs, I had a whole studio built downstairs.
Yeah.
And I used to be able to do a podcast with 30 or 40, 30 or 40. Now it's up to 600, and I never froze down there. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes tonight. You know what I have to do probably every time I do it, because I've been up probably 15, 16 hours every day working on this project that I'm working on, doing a lot of research. And because when I'm ready to let this thing go, I want to win this thing, and I will. I restarted tonight. I restarted it. Like it says restart, shut it down and restart. This way, anything that's open or gets shut down.
Do you delete most of all your comments and all that stuff?
No, I don't delete nothing, but
Well,
sometimes I leave my friend says sometimes if I have apps open that are running,
yeah.
it screws up. So that's why he says to restart it. So I restarted it tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Sometimes you use a lot of megabytes and you don't even know you're using it, and you're only allowed so many.
Whatever, I don't know. Howard Lieberman, procedure complete, getting results in October 13th. We'll find out if I can buy green bananas. Well, good luck, Howard. Make sure you let us know. October 13th. That's got to be tough. You know that? That's got to be tough. Waiting, just waiting for results. That's got to be tough. It's getting very tough for me now because I watch a lot of television. Not in the last month or so, but prior. You see the kids from the hospital, all them little kids with cancer and everything.
I mute all the commercials. I can't take those commercials.
No, it's a shame. Kids like that, they're so innocent and young. They don't even know what life's about.
Yeah.
It's really horrific. I don't like it either. That's why I put Netflix on. I just look at movies. I don't want to look at news no more because it's really heart-wrenching. It really is.
Well, Howard, we wish you a lot of luck.
Yeah, Howard, go, man. You got
make
this.
sure you let us know.
Yeah.
And remember, it's never over till it's over.
Hit him with a left hook and an overhand right. You'll be
Manny,
okay.
I don't understand why everyone doesn't hit the like button. It helps keep the podcast tremendous. It
Tell
helps
him.
the podcast
Tell him.
tremendous.
Shut the heck
Do
up.
you know? Do you know that that's the first nice thing that Manny said? That's the first nice thing that Manny said since he been on the show. The first two times he completely fucked up this whole show. Him sleeping, falling asleep, opening his garage, just a total
Eating
disrespect.
pickles out of the jar.
Yeah, just everything. And then fighting with everybody. I always had something to say about everything and everybody when he don't even know what the fuck he's talking about most of the time. And now he says this nice thing. Well, Manny, we're going to have to send you a link in just a little while. I just want to make sure, I just want to get down in the list here a little bit and talk to Eddie a little before, because in the event I get shut out, I just want to wait another 5 or 10 minutes. And because of this, maybe you'll behave. Okay, Sundance. Larry, I got hurt again. My hand got smashed with an 80-pound test.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ. That poor girl. You should see her when she comes over the house. She could barely walk, but she takes the dog out. She does everything, but her leg is like, her knee is all screwed up. She has cancer. She has, they burned her whole face too, all her teeth, all her gums, everything. That poor kid. She's a good kid, but she comes over here and she's always smiling, always laughing. In fact, she's the only one that went in the pool this year. I just shut the pool. Another 400 to shut the pool. And the only one that went in it was Sundance once. Okay. Larry, is it possible for a horse to have high blood pressure like a human? And if so, wouldn't that make a horse bleed? I never heard anyone talk about high blood pressure and horses together. You keep coming up with these questions that I really don't know the answer to. I don't know. You see,
I have never heard that.
I never heard it neither. You see, just so you know, the things that I know about were the things that that I came across in my life. I never, and once I have a horse with a problem, I zero in on that problem. And when you're in the business for 60 years, 65 years, you run across a lot of stuff. I never ran across a horse that had high blood pressure. Normally with humans, and right now I don't know what I'm talking about. But with humans, if you have high blood pressure, I know that I was diagnosed with high blood pressure the day I went to the doctor, because the night before I was having dinner and my nose started bleeding for no reason. So I knew I was 30 pounds overweight, and I had high blood pressure. My blood pressure went down. My blood pressure is normal now, and I don't have a problem. I never bothered asking that question about racehorses, because the racehorses that I had that bled, when I checked, they bled for a specific reason, that the veins in their lungs were
The capillaries break.
yeah.
Well, high blood pressure in the horse is caused by hypertension. Hypertension and chronic.
Hypertension is high blood pressure.
Yes. Well, it makes a horse hyper. They're hyper, and it causes them high blood pressure and renal disease. And they get it from stress. So they do have high blood pressure.
Okay.
If it causes chronic bleeding, I don't know.
Have you ever seen a vet test for high blood pressure?
Never seen a vet test for high blood pressure, but they do check for their heart rate, heartbeat.
Yeah, the oxygen level, the heart rate, the pulse.
So if their heart rate is over the beats per minute, then they have if it's low, it's the same thing as a human.
We got this is crazy, because here we got Joe, one of the leading trainers in the industry. We got Sundance down here, Eddie, who win races both in was successful in both harness racing and thoroughbred racing. And then you got me that's been in the business 60 years, and we can't answer a basic question. Does a horse have
I'm sure they have it. I mean, that's what leads to
Oh,
heart
here,
attacks and everything else. But I don't
right
think we
here.
ever test for it. We never test for it.
Now, right here, it says hypertension is a elevation of blood pressure in a horse's circulatory system. It is less diagnosed in horses compared to other animals, but occur due to various health issues. Now, I'll see, does high blood pressure in a horse cause a horse to bleed? Okay,
Well,
yes, high blood pressure in a horse can cause bleeding, particularly exercising, included pulmonary hemorrhaging, where extremely high pressure is the pulmonary circulation leads to the rupture of the tiny blood vessels and blood flowing into the airways, while normal for blood pressure to rise during exertion. So, in other words, inflammation or increased stress on the lungs can overwhelm the delicate blood gas barriers, causing capillaries to break and blood to enter in the airways. So they have high blood pressure, and it could cause them to bleed.
But I would think, I don't know, but you know one thing, I'm going to find this out.
Yeah.
I would think that the high blood pressure comes from horses that just get high blood pressure comes when the horses just get excited. Some horses
high blood pressure. Like we're sitting here now doing nothing. If someone has high blood pressure, they have high blood pressure right now, like me and you. If we have high blood pressure, we have high blood pressure. We're not exercising. We're not doing nothing physical. So why would you check a horse's blood pressure when he's standing in the stall? Naturally, if he's exercising or he's racing or he's training, yes, his blood pressure is going to go up. And that'll cause, the other problems that come along with it. But, a horse standing in the stall, I wouldn't say has high blood pressure.
Yeah, but that's an interesting question because what you said is exactly right. But the other thing is maybe there is a purpose for Lasix, because if the horse has high blood pressure, the Lasix would lower the blood pressure. That's what it does. It lowers the blood pressure. So if horses were born like, say, humans, and right now I'm talking, I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. But if a human has high blood pressure, maybe your arteries are clogged or something, or whatever the reason might be. I don't think that's the case with horses. I don't think a horse is going to have high blood pressure because they have clogged arteries or anything like that. I don't think that is ever the case with a horse. And it could be because of their genetics. It could be because of their diet. But I never heard, even at universities with autopsies and everything, I never saw a horse that had a heart attack because of a clogged artery. I never heard of that, and I don't even think it's possible. So my answer to that, it would just be a guess, is that horses normally, well, I shouldn't say normally, horses don't have high blood pressure just standing in the stall.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Well, basically humans don't either. I mean, I have high blood.
No, they do. We do, Eddie. We do.
I don't have high blood pressure sitting here, but if I get aggravated, I'll get high blood pressure.
But I check my blood pressure every day. I have.
Yeah, but sitting there, you get high blood pressure.
I check it sometimes twice a day. I have to, because your blood pressure and your kidney go together, and your kidneys go together. And you could damage your kidneys with high blood pressure. Yeah. I have one kidney because I had to have one removed because I had cancer. Now, I wake up some mornings and my blood pressure is 180 over 115, and I slept all night. Like today, I woke up, it was 124 over 84, so it was good. But every
Very
once
good.
in a while, it's high. But there was a point that around 3 Thanksgivings ago, and it was the month of November, I had to get rushed to the hospital 3 times in 6 weeks. My pressure went to 230 over 140, 150.
Wow.
It was crazy. I was getting dizzy and out of it. And
I just
All
checked. Horses don't get blood clots like
No,
humans.
I'm
They-
going to go out on a limb here and answer the question.
they get aneurysms.
I
they
don't
do.
think it's possible for a horse to have high blood pressure because of clogged arteries or anything.
No, they don't get clogged arteries.
No, just
The answer
for,
to that has to be no. They don't have high blood pressure.
only when they race, their blood pressure is going to go up naturally. When they race, they
Okay.
train, they're strenuous, but usually standing in the storm, no.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Makes sense.
Question for Larry: Did you believe in using a diamond-toed half-round swedge when horses crossfire? It all depends. You know what I used to do? What I used to do with a horse that crossfired pretty bad
Square
was
the toe.
I would take the back shoes off and let him wear the foot the way he wants to wear it. And after about a week jogging and training on the stone dust, you'll pick up the foot. Normally it would be low on the outside, and then I would just tack a shoe on, just a normal shoe, and that immediately stopped them from crossfiring on most horses. But some horses you got to do all the tricks. Diamond shaped shoe, square to toe, diamond shaped shoe, put a pair of brace bandages behind, on and on and on. And sometimes I remember years ago we used to put a double stud support on right between their
Right.
legs.
Try to widen them out, in many ways.
But normally, it's a pretty easy fix.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Sundance, how are you?
Bro Kostman, Ed, why the gate scratched last week?
Huh?
That's you, Eddie. Why was your horse scratched at the gate last week?
That's a question that's it's going to be answered on Thursday because Javier Castellano was on the horse and he argued with the veterinarian that the horse was fine because she has I would say a foul gait, and they scratched her on because she was off on the right front, and so Javier said the horse is fine, I'll race her, and she said, no, you don't have the authority to overrule me, so get off the horse, you're scratched. So I'm scratched. So I scratched. No big thing. So
You'll let us know. You'll let us know what happened.
Yeah.
This Howard, one of my medical assistants, former Amish, left them. Stunned his uncle. Is Abe Stofus ring a bell? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He drove a little, I think. Yes,
Abe
he did.
Stofus.
Yeah.
Abe
Wow.
Stofus was.
Wow, that's going back.
That's the name of the past.
Yeah, he
Didn't he have black and red colors?
He left the Amish country and basically said, get the fuck out. No lights, no electric, no nothing. He was out every night boozing up with girls. Yeah, he left the Amish country.
Didn't he have black and red colors?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think he did, Eddie.
Yeah. Good old Abe, man. Yeah.
Man says hi to Anthony. He's on his way to Italy.
He had the beard.
Larry has such a direct approach to being blunt.
Yes, you do.
46 watching. I hit the thumbs up button. Great podcast. Oh, thanks, Joseph. Great podcast. Okay. We're getting close, Manny. Hello, everyone. Hi, Larry. David. Hey, all up, Larry, against the Yankees. Tough crowd. I don't watch baseball. I haven't watched a sporting event since 1971. PM. Eddie, remember you couldn't think of the last name of the groom that worked for you? Was it Otis?
Yeah.
McCinnaman.
Yeah, Otis.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Joe, when we were talking about grooms at Yonkers, we left out the most famous one, Zeke.
Zeke. Yeah.
Zeke. Yeah. And Radar.
Zeke
What
was
about
a
Power
good
Glide?
guy. Great groom.
Power Glide. Yeah.
Power Glide.
Power Glide, my man. The pimp.
And
You ever
T.
see-
What?
You ever
And
see
Big.
him dressed up on the Saturday night or a Sunday with his hat and everything?
Yeah,
his
yeah.
suit?
Yeah, he had his velour
You
hat
remember
with his.
Joe?
Yeah.
Remember Big Lee?
Yeah, of course.
Big Lee. He worked for Joe Marsh and Carter.
Yeah. Remember Billy Williams?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Man,
right.
all
here's
the brothers, they were the best
Grooms
best
there were.
grooms.
This-
They were, man, had pride, man. When they brought their horses to the paddock, they strut, man. They had their hat tilted and they were good.
This is for Joe from Eric. If anyone wants to know what a Christian is, then watch the speech of Charlie Kurt's wife and how she forgave her husband's killer. Okay.
Charlie and his wife were true Christians, 100%.
David, I saw the video with Pace. He raised his hand. We're going to talk about that in a little while. I just want to get down a little. David says, hope your brother gets better. Me too. I hope he gets better. I wish he was closer. I'd go there because I'll tell you, when he worked for me, he was at fighting weight. He was like maybe 230, 220.
He was a bull, man. He was big.
Yeah.
Big,
But
strong guy.
then when he left me in '84, when I got bored, he moved to Delaware and he raced a bunch of horses there. He took a bunch, and then he just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't know what happened. I don't know, but I know one thing. You know, he lived a good life. He was all right. I think he's just tired. Okay. Question for Eddie. How hard is it to go from a standardbred trainer to a thoroughbred trainer?
It's easy.
It's easier. It's easier to go from a standardbred trainer to a thoroughbred trainer. It's harder to go from a thoroughbred trainer to a standardbred trainer. That's for damn sure. You got to know the anatomy.
I don't know. I don't know of one thoroughbred trainer that started out with the thoroughbreds and went to the standardbreds. I don't even know one.
No.
I know a couple that went from standardbreds to thoroughbreds back to standardbreds, but I don't know what the other way around.
No, not at all. I tell you, it's such a different ball game. Man.
They be scratching their heads all day trying to figure it out.
Jesus Christ! Just to give them
What
a
the hell
pair.
is this? What's that? What are they doing?
Just to give them a pair of hobbles, they'll say, "What the hell are these?" I remember one time we asked the guy to put a harness on the horse. He put the crooper in the horse's mouth. You didn't know where the fuck.
Come on.
I swear to God. Yeah. I showed the trainer a brush Chatterall. He said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Yeah."
The crooper in his
Yeah, well,
mouth. That's the best one I had.
I'll tell you the time when at Delaware Park, when I think it was DeMarco. I forgot his name. I think it was DeMarco. DeCarlo, something like that.
Yeah.
A jockey, he refused to ride my horse because I put a pelling pacifier, and a pelling pacifier is nothing but a hood with cups that are screens. That's all. Yeah. And the good thing I had the exercise rider with me because I knew that somebody would say something. But anyway, he wound up riding the horse.
Okay. I see Chris every day, Chris DeCarlo.
Is that who it was, Chris?
Yeah.
Chris DeCarlo. Well, next time you see him, remind him.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him.
There was a comment about Kevin Wallace. You missed, Larry.
Yeah, I'm going to put that up. Do you remember? Say if I hope it's the same one. I'm almost positive it was DeCarlo. It was in Delaware Park, right around the 80s or something like that, and maybe it was a little after that. No, it was after that. Maybe the 90s. When he came in and he refused to ride a horse because he had that pelling pacifier on, and if it wasn't for the exercise rider saying that he galloped him and trained him and he had him on all week, that he was all right. Ask him that. That'll be another another thing that I say that's verified. Okay, what's this? Kevin Wallace was an excellent driver, 10,614 wins and 53 million in earnings. Very good trainer as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Been around a long time.
It's a bad phone call I
Godspeed,
got
kid.
last night. I felt, I don't like to see people cry and I don't like to see people sad. And it just seems like it's all around you now. It's terrible. Hi, fellas. Long time. Rick Simon. Yeah, Rick. Where you
Hey,
been?
Rick. Hello,
Hey,
Rick.
Rick.
Thought I would stop by. Well, thanks for stopping by. I don't watch news or commercials. Rick Simon. The I Love Larry show starring Manny with guest stars. Yeah, well, we're gonna come, man. But I'll tell you one thing: as soon as Manny starts his bullshit, we're just gonna. That'll be the end. I know it's gonna be hard but he's usually good for a while. We'll get him on. Let me just finish with this thing. Empty your trash every 10 days. You'll clean your computer and should eliminate issues. Yep. That's what my friend told me. Empty. Yeah, that's what I should do. But so far I haven't froze up yet. Okay, Larry, I love the relationship you and Manny have. Mike. Manny's a good guy. The only thing Manny has to do is and I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't give a fuck because he disrespected me a bunch of times. And so fuck it. I don't care. But he just has to stop with his nonsense and bullshit like he knows everything because he don't. And not only that, but I said it before, and I should say it when he's on. If we had a show about how to build a house and how to build a foundation, or somebody asked a question about what can I do? My basement's always leaking. How do we seal the foundation? I would never, ever, ever let anybody contradict or say he was full of shit or contradict whatever Manny said. That would be gospel because he's the only one on the show that knows about building. So I would stick up for Manny, just like I can't let people. Even if it wasn't my podcast, if I was on a podcast and somebody's saying that something that's bullshit or contradicting somebody else, and I know he's wrong, I got to step in. Let me tell you something. This mouth of mine, and Joe says it best. I don't pull any punches. It got me in a lot of trouble, but it got me in a lot of trouble in my life. But it also got me a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Two things that really bother me right even right now when I think about it is not killing Tannenbaum for what he did to me, because I would have killed him. I would have killed him if he was still alive after my father died. And the other one was not hitting oh God, what's the guy's name? I almost forgot it. The people that bought me in 1984. Slutsky died. They just sold the racetrack to a crew from Boston, I think, and they put a guy called Joe Landau. That was
up in Monticello.
They put Joe Landau in charge, and he had a big investigation, and they wouldn't let it drop. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he eventually called all the tellers in. They had the new computers. They got the printouts, and one of the tellers knew me, and that's how. But when we went to court, me and my lawyer was standing outside by where the parking lot was, and the lawyer starts to back. So face to face on the sidewalk, and the lawyer takes a step back, like he saw somebody coming. And who was it? Joe Landau. And I just was ready for him. I looked. I says, Joe, and I was gonna, and the lawyer just pushed. He says, no. That bothered me. It still bothers me. I just wanted to crack him, and I only hope he would have went down, because if he would have went down, I would have just stomped right on his neck.
He was a pretty young guy when he took that position.
Yeah. He was just he thought he knew everything. He thought he was just a wise ass kid. He come from a dog track and tried to, but to give him credit, it was a bad. Well, he had no choice. The whole grandstand started booing. I mean, it was a bad race, and so he had to start an investigation. And instead of when they couldn't after a month they couldn't get no place.
So they went to the usual suspects.
They went to the usual suspects. Yeah. Okay.
I keep on hitting this phone.
Okay. What's this say? Okay. Hello, Larry, Eddie, Angelique. That's Angelique.
Hey, Angelique. Sorry, Angelique.
I just heard about it.
So sorry.
Sent me a message. So sorry.
My deepest sympathy and condolences. Riposo in pace. Rest in peace. Okay,
Yeah.
Papa.
Yeah. Manny, Larry loves me. He just likes to tell me to shut the fuck up. It's his way of saying I love you, Manny. That there's a lot of truth to that, because if I didn't like the guy, if I didn't like him, I would let him in. Not everything he says is stupid. A lot of things he says is right, but he just once you aggravate me, I look for it. It's like a dog biting you once. You think twice about petting him again. Okay. Jesse Black, Angelique, about your father passing. Yeah. That's sad. When you ever see a horse get a nosebleed, A777, when you ever see a horse get a nosebleed, it happens a lot. Every times.
Night, every race.
Yeah. I should tell that story. I think I told it once about Ralph Ferrone I won't tell it now. It'll take too long. I want to get Manny on here. Let's see. Manny, Angelique, everyone is sorry to hear about your father. Yes. Yes. Jesse Black, our condolences. Yes. Horses don't get nosebleeds. Okay. Horses don't get nosebleeds. That's something Manny would say. Well, that's not right. A777. Horses don't get nosebleed. They bleed from the lungs, unless they have an obstruction in their throat or a tumor or an ulcer or something like that, or somewhere in the breathing mechanism.
It comes out of their nose. It's not starting in their nose.
It comes out of their nose, but the only time the nose bleeds is when they're racing or under pressure.
Well, if a horse hits the gate, they're going to have a nosebleed.
Yeah.
They break the blood vessel.
If you hit the gate, you have a nosebleed too.
Yeah.
Jesse Angelique says thank you, Jesse Black, and thank you, Manny. Rick Simons, Angelique, sorry to hear it. Mike, sorry about your father, Angelique. Very nice. See what a nice group of people we have here. Howard, Eddie, you'll get. You're great with the shades, Scotchy and Hutch. Oh, let me go. I'm going to leave that up so I don't lose it. I want to ask you something about. Then we're going to talk about that thing. But I want to show you this. What the hell is this, Eddie?
Wow.
That picture up there.
That picture?
Yeah, that's ain't that Jerry Persino driving?
Yes.
So you must this stuff that says on the bottom here that you Indian Sunset been a regular feeding schedule with natural V. That Persino's father used to come up with all of that stuff.
Yeah. No. This is something that I had made up. I got matter of fact, I have it now in my possession. That's a track that I give my horses that a doctor who's he owns half of a horse and he mixes this stuff up. And I used it on this horse. I bought that horse for $12,500 at the Meadowlands sale. And Benny Webster come running over to me and he said, "How much you pay for that horse?" I said, $12,500. And he said, "I'll give you 50,000 right now." And I asked my owner and he said, "No, we'll take a shot." We took him to Pompano. We qualified him against Run the Table. We finished second with him. And that's the horse that I went all the way up to the Complex Series. And Benny Webster drove him. And we made a lot of money. I sold him to Ray Rimmon for 160,000, something like that. Somewhere around there. But that was Vitamins. They were very, very, very good.
Does HISA know about him?
Who?
HISA.
They might know now.
Let me go back to this. Where the hell? Oh, don't tell me I lost it. Oh my God!
Where'd you lose over there?
Right there, Eddie. You got it, Eddie.
All right, man, I got it, man. Where's Francis? I want to set up a date for Bob, Joe, and Francis. I want to sponsor the plane ticket, Francis, and dinner.
What's this?
Huh?
Who knows? I'm not even going to pay attention to that. Thank you.
Who was it from?
It's from Manny. It's from Manny.
Mr.
Okay,
Spustan.
Freddie Hudson, high blood pressure with my horses. I never thought of it, but I do have a former groom of mine who now is one of the top cardiologists in the world. I can ask him. Okay, Freddie, see you Thursday. Unless the horse smokes 40 days. Howard Liebman, Joe's correct. Being centenary with the blood pressure. When I was put under yesterday for surgery, they had to wait a few minutes, and I've been losing weight eating some plant diet. All right, we're almost down the end here. I get high blood pressure when I look at my bank account. My bank account was very low. I get heartburn after eating. I eat Tums, rip a big one. Okay. PM Joe, you said a horse can't have high blood pressure standing in a stall. What if he is lame or very sore? Well, that maybe them, or maybe there's things that could
Trigger it, yeah.
Could trigger it, just like
Yeah.
when Yonkers Raceway decided years ago to have a rubber track, and they didn't want no horses. Oh no, I remember the time. Well, they put a rubber track too. That was another disaster. People don't know what the hell they're doing. But one time it was raining. The track was very muddy. So what they did was they got a big jet plane, a big jet engine, and they dried the track with the big jet engine.
I remember.
Warm your horses up. They had a sauna trailer in the thing. And when they started the thing, I guarantee you all the horses' blood pressure went quick because half of them went nuts in the paddock. So they are external things that would make a horse's blood pressure.
Of course.
But as far as a horse having a natural high blood pressure because of clogged arteries, I don't think that's possible.
Any pain or anything like that will naturally raise their blood pressure. But I'm talking about with no reason. Naturally, a horse is not going to have high blood pressure.
Whatever happened to Vito Spano? I don't know.
Vito Spano passed away in the paddock. He had a heart attack.
I was right there.
Pressure.
Really?
Yeah, I was there too.
He had,
right in Yonkers Raceway.
He was screaming. Were you there when he was yelling for the horse?
Yep.
He had the exacta, $200 exacta.
Yep.
Hervé was driving.
Yep. I was there.
Rooting, screaming, hollering. He hit the exacta. He dropped there like a 10-cent watch.
It went right down.
Freddie Hudson says, Power Glide, Raider, Think all worked for me and great grooms and people.
Yeah, they were.
Steve Schultz died at a horse sale in Kentucky, 81 years old. Abe Stoltz. Okay, Eddie, my partner George Anthony says the same thing. being a thoroughbred trainer is light years easier. Like you, he's done both. Yep.
You're right.
Richard, Herb was the best at putting a horse in any position that he wanted at Yonkers. Not only at Yonkers, at any racetrack in the world. Any racetrack, any size, anytime. Angelique, thank you so much, Larry, Joe, and Eddie.
You're welcome, Angelique.
You're welcome,
Angelique, God bless, bud.
You'll meet up again one day, I'm sure. Don't worry.
My dad, Angelique, my dad was 77, got double pneumonia, and his, I don't know that word, turned acute, and he wasn't responding to any medications. You know the tough thing, I try not to take it no more. I never realized this, that I was born with pneumonia, and I had double pneumonia almost every year of my life. And there were many times when I had the flu with pneumonia. I had bronchial pneumonia. I had pneumonia all the time, and 2 or 3 times I almost died. Used to be in the hospital all the time. And then finally they found a drug. I went through every kind of antibiotic, and nothing ever helped. Nothing ever helped. And the worst part back then was when you had pneumonia. I remember I was in Booth Memorial Hospital, and they kept me in for 7 days, 10 days. They made me stay in bed. And that's the worst thing you can do when you have pneumonia. You got to get up, walk around, and spit up all the phlegm and everything.
Yeah.
But then there was then for me, when I got older, I finally found, because nothing ever worked for me. I just had to tough it out, and it was tough. But then they come with with that one antibiotic, Levaquin, that worked for me.
Yeah.
That's the only medicine, and that's a dangerous
Very strong.
antibiotic.
Very strong.
Because my friend took it and almost died from taking it. But I didn't know this. There's very few antibiotics out there, and that if they don't invent, and that's why I take it very sparingly. Sometimes I try to get rid of, when I get pneumonia, I get sick. I try to toughen it up, because I don't want my body to get used to it, because there's no other antibiotic out there that takes care of what I have. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're lucky that your lungs don't fill up with water.
Well, that's what pneumonia is, basically.
Yeah. Pleurisy.
All right. Francis says condolences to Angelique. Prayers for peace, love, and strength. Yeah. And Angelique says, thank you very much, Francis. You're welcome, Bella. Sorry to Angelique. Bless your family. Hi, gents. Eddie, it's for you, Eddie. How's one of your horses? I saw she scratched it. All right, we already went through that. Eddie's going to have a big hearing with the commission on Thursday, and all he's going to do is waste his time, I think.
Yep, they sweep it under the carpet.
Yeah.
He's going to see Lucky Luciano.
Angelique, thank you, David. Okay, we're almost at the bottom. Sorry, Angelique, I know how you feel. Joseph, Jacqueline. I didn't forget you, Angelique. I gave my condolences at the beginning of the show before you came on, Steve.
National law in the Gallop Bout of the December 3rd race at Parks. Through attorney
Thank you so much, Joseph. It's hard. Yeah, it's tough. Thank you so much, Steve. Okay. What's this say? Question for Joe G. Who was the sharpest guy you worked for before you went on your own?
The sharpest guy overall, I would say Mike Dolan.
Who?
Mike Dolan. Mike Dolan was a trainer at Roosevelt. One of the smartest guys I ever spoke to. He taught me a lot. He was very good friends with Eddie Lohmeyer.
Angelique says, I'm so glad you found an antibiotic to help you, Larry. Me too. Well, they ran out of them. It was just going down the line, one by one. And finally, I hit on that, and they got me better in 3-4 days. and it worked well. But it's going now for 15 years. Okay, Howard Liebman. So many people stuck over bringing diseases. Yep. Okay, here's one for Eddie. Eddie worked for John Campo at Belmont. Grooms only used the tarp outside the stalls to clean them, fold it up, and carry them to the bin. Does everyone still? Yeah, they use a wheelbarrow.
They use a wheelbarrow. Yeah, but
All right.
yeah,
Now we're done with these comments here. So now we gotta, let's see. I have to find. We're gonna put them on. Wouldn't it be a shame if I don't have his? I don't have his
email.
I don't have his email address. Manny, text me your email address.
Shutthefuckup.com.
I don't have his email address. So Manny, send me your email address and I'll send you the link. All right. As soon as Manny comes on, we'll talk about Paco Lopez.
Larry, did you get that thing I sent you about Kentucky Downs, the Red Mile?
What about it?
They got they're gonna have the Triple Crown of harness racing there in 2027. They got state of the art. Oh my God, they're gonna have a load of trainers and I don't know. Didn't you see it on your phone? I sent it to you. Oh,
Larry, what about the pictures I sent you with Rock Vinci and Roger Hammer?
Oh yeah.
Who?
Oh, wait.
Rock Vinci and
Oh,
Roger Hammer won some races. And there's also, I think, Mickey Mantle and Steinbrenner jogging horses.
Yeah, that's the one I sent. Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle. Yeah. Rock Vinci, he's a. I don't even want to get into it.
Wait a minute now.
I don't know.
I trained a horse over in Meadowlands. Renee trained a horse in Meadowlands called Jump Street. A maiden.
Manny, you have to send me your what happened here.
He's calling you, isn't it?
No, that's a private number.
That might be him.
Well, I'm not answering. He's going to call me on the number I have. I'm not answering. I'm not answering that. Got me all screwed up now. I don't know how to get out of this stuff.
Well, just go on with the show until you get it.
Yeah, Manny, text me your email address. Let me see if he did it. Manny, if that's you calling me, I ain't answering. Text. All right. I'm not going to go crazy here. All right, Eddie, what do you know about? All I know is that the Jockeys Guild, everybody is against HISA for what they're doing. That 6-month suspension for Lopez for raising the whip
Above the helmet.
It's great. You see all the jockeys.
Yeah, I was there that day. Yeah.
I mean, when are they going to stop with the stupid nonsense?
I try to get them to, after they had that thing in the aqueduct in the winner's circle with all the jockeys, I try to get the trainers that were racing that day to stand there and appeal, oppose that verdict of giving them 6 months.
I can't find it. Hold on a minute.
There he is.
Keep talking. I got Manny on the phone.
Go ahead.
Keep talking. Let me see. let me see. Manny texts me. I got all your information except your email address. So, Manny, text me your email address because I'll never remember it. I get Manny, your name with your phone number. There's no. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. I think I got it. I got it.
That's the blind leading the blind.
I think I got it. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let's see how I do this.
Spoost and spoostad over there.
Okay.
Let me put these back on. I gotta hide.
I better get a pair.
I left my regular glasses in the car, so I got these things.
Okay. Well, somebody say something because I'm trying to.
You know, I had 2 horses claimed of me, right?
Yeah,
No.
I heard.
Yeah. Yeah. They
You
took
got
the white horse and they took the other horse.
You got to take the white one back.
Nah, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm looking to claim
you like
3.
that horse. You're waiting for the turf for that horse for 6 months.
Yeah, time I get him, the turf will be over.
Okay, hallelujah. I think.
There you are. You're getting dark. Oh, there you are. What are you flicking your light on and off?
No, I think I did it. I think I sent for Manny. So what were you saying, Eddie? Because I missed it. The jockey.
When I was racing that day, and the jockeys were down in the paddock, and they were forming some type of thing that they were against or what they're doing to Paco Lopez. Here he comes, Lavalier.
There he is.
Where's your cigar?
It's there.
No cigar?
What are you talking about? So that's 4 feet long.
Frozen. He's frozen already. He gets Eddie. Me and you were at his house. He knows he gets no internet out there where he's at, and that's where he's at. He's frozen. Manny, you're frozen. I put my air conditioner on. Now you're getting my blood pressure up.
I don't know.
I
don't know about this show.
What time is it? 9 o'clock? I'm going to go to bed.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to end this show real quick. See, Manny? Oh, there he is.
Where are you? You're
All right,
up?
So Eddie, finish what you were saying because I didn't hear what you were saying about the jockeys.
Now, the jockeys were in the paddock and they were, talking about about HISA suspending him for 6 months, for raising his whip over his helmet, because he was fighting the 52-day suspension. He was trying to fight that, and then he was in a stake race, and he rose. He put his hand over his helmet like he was going to really reef the horse, but he didn't. But so they were trying to. They're going against HISA. So I was trying to get all the trainers that were racing that day to do the same thing. And, try to help the kid out because it's totally an asinine rule. It really is. I mean, everything about it it's terrible. It's getting worse and worse.
That makes no sense at all.
They're trying to get rid of the private. Where you going?
Go ahead, I hear you.
I hear you.
He's
Where
getting
do they come up with these numbers? 52-day suspension. Where do they come up with these numbers?
Well, they were going to give him 2 years.
2 years for what?
For excessive whipping. 10 times he hit a horse.
Well, but it's a
normal reaction.
Foam rubber. It's like
a
getting hit with a
normal
sponge.
reaction. It's not a heavy thing. It's a Matter of fact, the NYRA went around to all the exercise riders on the racetrack and gave them brand new crops, whips. You know, it's ridiculous. Everything they're trying to get rid of the practicing veterinarians to bring in the HISA veterinarians. And these kids here just got out of school. They don't even know. They don't know how to block a horse. If you ask one of those vets to block a horse to see where the horse is lame, well, they don't know where to put the needle. They don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
And they scratch you. I had a vet take my horse's leg, bend it like this, put it against the chest, and take a palm of hand and push on the sesamoid all the way up to the check ligament. I said, "What are you doing? You got a horse." Of course, when she put the leg down and I run, the fucking horse.
Yeah, the first step is going to be lame.
Huh?
The first step is going to be lame.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's ridiculous what they're doing. So it's really getting to be. You're going to war with a BB gun. So it's hard. Like I was told, Eddie, no matter what you say or do.
They said they had 20 HISA, had 2,800 fines and suspensions, and 2,700 of them for the whip, use of the whip.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you're going for $6 million, and your adrenaline is through the roof. You're 100 yards or 200 yards from the finish line, and you're head in head. What, are you going to get off the horse and push him?
Unbelievable. I tell you what, I wouldn't last 10 minutes in that game.
Oh, when they scratched my horse the other day, my owner went berserk. They had us in the judge's office. Yeah. I told the guy, I said, I'm going to tip this desk over on top, and I swear to Christ, I went nuts because they're just doing everything against the horse racing. It's terrible. It really is. It's not fun no more. You're backed against the wall.
Yeah, and you can't even reason with them. They're not reasonable people.
No. And they won't even take a jockey's opinion if the guy says get off the horse, and it's not a horse's sound. What are you talking about?
You think the jockey's going to risk his life if the horse is lame?
Or am I going to risk their life by sending the horse out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if the jockey,
you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make the veterinarian, my practicing vet, and me look bad. You understand? That I don't know what I'm doing, and he don't know what he's doing. For HISA to move in and take over the racetrack and use their vets. Like I said, they don't know how to spell the word vet. What is this, cigar? You in there? Hey.
I'm listening to you.
Hello. Hello.
I'm listening, but I want to clarify something with Larry real fast.
Go ahead.
Larry, you tell me that I look for controversy with people, which I don't. The one thing I don't do is I don't pacify people. So when you have somebody on the show, like when Joe was talking, not Joe, Ron was talking, who I happen to like a lot, and I love when he tells a story because he tells it, he changes his voice, he talks in other people's voices. It's just that when he brought up an example about when he brought up Bob Baffert and what's the other guy's name with
Chad Brown and Todd Play.
Chad Brown. Like I can't sit there and pacify somebody. Like, don't even bring it up because it's not even a topic of conversation if I gave them 2 horses. No, don't bring it up because they wouldn't take 2 horses, so there is no conversation. I have a problem pacifying people. I cannot pacify somebody and tell, oh, yeah, you're right. And I know they're wrong or they're saying something stupid. I cannot pacify people.
Yeah, but Manny, first of all, the guy is twice your age. Second of all, he's been around a long, long time. Third of all, assume you were 100% correct. There's a different way of saying it. Just like
Well, I wasn't.
hold it. Just like I say to you, shut the fuck up. The nice way to say it is, listen, I'm not sure that it happened that way. I don't think I think they would probably say to you, we're kind of filled up now. Why don't you go see so and so? So there's a nicer way to see it. You're very much like me. You're very abrupt, but that's what I meant by that. You're very abrupt. Here's
Okay,
the way
I'll
I saw it. He says, "Well, I would go to these guys," and you says they wouldn't even think of taking a horse from you. You know,
That was insulting, Manny.
He said.
I wasn't, but
hold on.
Joe, I wasn't.
Ron has been a perfect gentleman with everybody.
Joe,
Let me finish. Ron has been a perfect gentleman with everybody, and I'm sure he could say a lot of negative things about people, and he don't.
No.
And I thought it was disrespectful for you to question him, because I would love to have an owner like Ron. I'm not one of those guys, but I had a 50 horse barn, 60 horse barn, and Ron would have been a big plus in my barn. So
I wasn't saying it to be insulting. The way it came out in the when you write a text or you send somebody a text, it could come out 100 different ways. You could read a text 100 different ways, just like the chat. What I was trying to say though is, don't use them as an example, because it's irrelevant.
You're saying it all wrong, because it was directed. That question was directed towards me. He said exact words: if I had $1 million, I would not go into Chad Brown or Todd Fletcher's barn to buy horses. I would rather go to Eddie. He's a small trainer, and he would do the right thing.
Right.
So Eddie.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you again, I like Ron. I just told you I love the guy. I think he's a great guy. I like when he tells stories. But I don't use that as an example. I wouldn't go to them. Like, okay, so you're throwing a dig at Baffert and Chad Brown. They're not here to defend themselves. Don't use them as an example, because they wouldn't take me. I could go get $1 million horse tomorrow, walk to their barn. They would tell me they didn't want to be bothered.
That's not true.
Oh, that's 100% true, Eddie.
Bullshit walks.
Yeah, but Eddie, those guys have. Listen to me.
No.
Listen to me. I'm with Ray Schnicker.
Yes.
Ray Schnicker only took me because of a friend, because the friend said to him, "Do me a favor, take this guy. He's a good owner." He didn't want no other owners. He doesn't need any other owners.
But listen, those type of people that are in the thoroughbred industry, that are financially secure, and they have the top quality owners like Rapoli and West stables and blah blah. They spend millions of dollars, and sure, if somebody comes in with credentials and financial stability, they're not going to refuse. He was just making the point that he would feel more comfortable with a smaller trainer than to be.
That's what he meant.
All right, okay. So listen to me again. It was no disrespect to Ron.
Yeah. No. I'm saying that. No.
That wasn't. It wasn't. It was just that I wouldn't use that as an example. Okay, I'm going to bring up one other thing to Larry. Okay, this is going back a couple of podcasts about betting. Okay, Eddie, I put you on the phone with somebody that told you about my betting. Did you hear the guy?
Yes.
That guy's 75 years old. He's been around the block 100 times. Did you hear what the guy said?
Yes.
All my years of everything I've been involved in, I never seen action the way you put action in. And I'm trying to talk in the chat, and they're telling me that you could bet this, you could bet that, you could bet this. No, and I'm just saying, no, you can't. I've been there. I've done that. I got kicked out of the Meadowlands in FanDuel. They told me, we're not taking your action. I said, okay, no problem. I left. I just read an article about Dana White in the UFC. The guy loses millions of dollars every week. Last week, he won $750,000 playing blackjack. They asked him to leave. There's no. That's what I was saying about the action and betting. even if you go to the casino, you cannot walk into a casino with $20,000 cash and say, "Give me the 49ers tonight." They'll look at you. If they don't know who you are, they're going to tell you, "No, we're not taking the bet."
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah, it's basically
but,
true.
but Larry, let me ask you a question. You used to bet a lot, right? And you bet with bookmakers. After you beat the bookmaker for 4 or 5 weeks in a row, what does the bookmaker do to you? He chases you, no?
I don't know. I never won 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Well, because you lost, they kept letting you come back. But anybody out there with a street bookmaker, if you beat them 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, they don't want your action anymore. They chase you. No, we're not taking.
Manny, everything that you're saying is true, but also everything that you're saying, that's been the way it was for 300 years. Everybody knows that. Whether you're a street bookmaker, whether you're a casino or anything else, they're in business to make money. You get chased, and everything. So everything you're saying is true, but you know. I got a call, but I'm not gonna. It's an important.
Hollywood's calling you.
I'm not. No, Manny. I'm not even going to take this call because I don't want to interrupt Manny. No, but that's a good call. Then you know who this is? This is the guy about. In fact, I sent you the information on that gambling boat, Manny, by mistake. I think. Oh no, I didn't send it to you. Yeah, your wife picked it up and she says, "What are we buying a boat now?" That's the guy. I think he might have a buyer for the boat. Anyway, that's another story. But Manny, everything you're saying, look, most of the time, what you say, Manny, is true. It's the way you said it. And the only thing that got me a little crazy with Ron is, like Joe said, Ron is an older guy, very, very respectful. And the question he was just making the comment. And he says, I would rather give him to Eddie, and then you right away you jump in. Well, they wouldn't take your horses anyway. So
what? Like I said, if
it amounts to bullshit. That's what it amounts to. It amounts to stupid.
It wasn't
bullshit.
Necessary, in other words, to say that.
Yeah,
There was no reason to say that.
Just stupid bullshit.
I didn't mean it to knock Ron, because I like Ron. I don't really know him, but I wasn't saying it really to. I wasn't saying it to knock Ron because I really do like him.
Okay, and I'm sure he's listening. I'm sure he heard it, and I'm sure he accepts your apology or your explanation, and so do I. That's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is cool. I want to know how come your voice is so good tonight. What'd you put? Usually when you're out on the deck, there's no service out there. Now tonight your voice is good and the picture is good.
I changed the modem in the house. The modem.
Okay, good. All right.
Listen, what I wanted to tell you is Lexington is going on right now, and I was supposed to go, but I didn't go because I don't want any more horses. But man, are they selling for record-breaking numbers there? 500,000, 1 million, 800. People are spending money on yearlings right now.
Yeah, harness racing in Kentucky is going to be a state of the arts. It's going to be the biggest, better than New York ever was. Telling you.
Well, they better form. I think they do have some kind of organization down there that's going to battle with HISA. I think there's going to be a bunch of. There's going to be 1 or 2 organizations, if there isn't already, that are going to be formed to fight with HISA, because what HISA is doing, in plain English, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And and I think the jockeys are probably going to start it, because if they don't get any satisfaction with the jockeys meeting them, I think they said on this week they're gonna do something. They can't let that. And you know what? F. Lee Bailey said this in 1961, I think it was, at the Gamma Hotel across the street.
Yep.
He says, if you don't stick together, you he says, don't put no horses in the box. The next day, the box was full. He walked into the gang war at lunchtime. He says, I quit. These guys got no shot. And you know what? He was right. He was right.
I was there.
That's 60.
Remember we picketed the entry room?
Yep.
We pick it in the entry room at
That's
Yonkers.
what the jockey should do for that. This
That's
guy
what
they
the
want to find. They
jockey
just
should do.
refuse
They
to ride.
you just refuse to ride, and you see how somebody got their put their foot down. Somebody got to stop because it's fucking nonsense. You know why? And I'm going to tell you why it's nonsense. The thing that I produced, that thing that I put together when I went to Manny's house with you, Ed.
Yeah.
I changed that whole thing around because the way I presented it to you guys, it wouldn't work. It couldn't work for a number of reasons. And I changed the whole thing around. I changed everything all around. And now I made it where it's basically foolproof. And I'm waiting on one more thing before I go to get it patented. Once I get it patented, I could probably single-handedly take down HISA by myself if they start fucking with me, because that'll probably be that'll be the last thing I do in my life. And I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm serious, because what they're doing now to these jockeys, to these horse owners, to everything else, with the make believe that they're doing everything to protect the horse. They don't have a clue what they're doing, and I'm gonna prove it. And I only hope that I'm successful. I got one more hurdle to climb. Like I told Joe before we went on, I've been working on this now 12, 15 hours a day. I've been going to university. I've been going all over the place, and because when I sit, if the day ever comes when I sit down in front of them, there's no way that they're not gonna yield to me. And if they don't, then I will I'll expose them, because they really don't know what they're doing. They really don't have a clue. And I think and there's a good friend of mine, the vet who, and I put that in the letter to them. I thought it was 300-something thousand. It's almost $800,000 that they're giving Doc Palmer and his crew to figure out the effects of latex and what they're going to do.
Doc Palmer?
I think that's his name.
Dr. Palmer.
Palmer? Oh,
Yeah.
that was Dr. Palmer and the horse, you know.
No, Dr. Palmer. He's the head of the veterinarians.
Yeah, he's got a big farm, and
yeah.
And I did a lot of business with him, and I know him, and he's a good guy, and he's a smart guy, and him and his crew are gonna get almost $800,000 to find out the effects of latex, which I'm sure he could sit down with them and tell them right off the bat. But they're gonna do a 2-year study, and I don't know, I don't know why. I mean, I have reports maybe 3-4 inches high. Lab reports and from universities, horses on treadmills, horses that were tested during races and training and everything else, that tell you exactly everything you need to know about latex and the use of latex. So anyway, we'll see. I just got one more hurdle to get over. I'm waiting on some materials and some stuff that I have coming, and then I have all the patents ready to go, and then I'm just gonna patent it. And Manny, you're off the hook, because I know you're not gonna do it. So your wife hasn't called me, and you haven't mentioned it, and so you don't worry about it. And someday when you're not doing nothing, if you ever do get a horse with Eddie, bring that horse's head back to Eddie, the one I left at your house. So give it to Eddie if you ever go to Eddie's barn. Just give me that thing back, because I have one. I took one. I left one with you, but I'm gonna need 2, because I have 2 different variations. One, I can't get into it now, but I got
one for harness and one for thoroughbred.
Well, yeah, but it's basically, yeah. One for
That's
honest,
the only way you can put it.
Yeah, right. You're right. In fact, I think, Manny, I left the thoroughbred bridle on that mannequin that I left there. I'm almost positive. I left the hood on the mannequin and the thoroughbred bridle on the mannequin. So next time you go to Eddie's barn, bring it with you. If you never go to his barn, then I'll just get another one. So don't worry about it. But
No, I'll stop by and pick it up one day.
where by
At his
hand?
house, if you don't mind, I'll go stop there. Don't bother me.
Whatever. Well, when are you going to get a horse for Manny? When are you buying your thoroughbred?
We got to get one soon. Eddie had been so busy. He said I didn't call him back for 3 days.
I had a couple nice horses picked out, and but I said when you're ready,
We're gonna get them. Don't worry. The best things come. The best things come to those that wait.
That's it. Patience.
How far from the track do you, Manny? How far from the track is your house?
20 minutes. I just went to see Eddie. Eddie, when did I see you? Last week? Week and a half ago?
Yeah, but 2 weeks ago, Sunday. Yeah.
I tell you, I was watching Lexington, and I tell you, I just don't want to buy another standardbred or whatever. I want to get a thoroughbred with Eddie, because I think it'll be more enjoyable that the track is so close. I could hop in the car, go right there. But they had a Chapter 7 today that went so cheap that if I was there, I would have bought it. These horses today were selling for yesterday and today. They were selling 400, 700, 475. And I'm just sitting there looking at a horse. I think yesterday the topper was $1 million. You buy a horse for $1 million. How do you get your money back? It's almost impossible to get your money back.
Saturday in the first race, Todd Pletcher had a horse that paid $5 million for. The horse was bred out of Curlin, out of Bernardini mare, which is unbelievable. $5 million. He ran like a $5 hooker in Lincoln Tunnel. Horrible.
Wow.
He was weaving and he was so green. $5 million. He finished fourth on his hands, knees, and his feet. Oh, jeez. Rapoli bought 52 yearlings.
Yeah, Rapoli bought a ton of yearlings, and didn't what's his name, the Barstool guy? Didn't he buy a lot of horses too?
What was that?
Portner.
David
Yeah.
Portnoy.
Yeah.
Portnoy. He bought a lot of horses too.
Yeah.
Let's answer this question. David Arthur says, I bet, and I think David's a pretty sharp guy, and I think David was a horse owner. He's a pretty sharp guy. He's been around a while. He says, I bet with a bookie for 49 years. I won for months in a row and lost for months in a row. They never denied me action. I have to answer that only because I said something different before. So what I could say to you is, based on if you're a good payer, every bookmaker and every casino knows that you got no chance. Sooner or later you're going to lose, and they're going to keep taking your action as long as when you win you pay. But what they do is they just lay it off. You may bet. I don't know how you bet. I don't know if you're a $10 bettor or a $1,000 bettor. I was betting 40,000 a game, 20,000 with each guy. I bet 10, 15, get 10, 12 games every weekend during the football season. So
They hedge their action. A lot of them hedge their action.
Every day, every weekend, I would bet anywhere from $200,000 to $200,000 to $300,000 on the weekend. I'm sure as big as Fat Tony was when the drug dealer was putting them $5,000 bets in. I'm sure he was laying it off because we were winning every week, but he still took the action. He took the action because
Nicky Bonds, you talking about?
Nicky Bonds was betting over $1 million betting sports. In my situation, I paid. I never won. I started off in the football season, starting big bets, and I ended in the football season. My last bet, I think, was the Super Bowl. It was in February, I think, and they gradually raised me from a $5,000 limit, and he held it. Maybe he start piecing off, but he took a shot. I was into him for so much. I just never won. I never won. Instead of betting 1 or 2 games, I would bet all 12 games. I was sick. I was addicted. So David, I'm sure that there's bookmakers around where, regardless if when you lost, you paid. When you won, they took the money. But I'm sure they were established guys that had plenty of layoffs. And if you weren't a big bettor, they probably took the shot and held it themselves. But if you were betting 10 or 20,000 a game, I'm sure that there were times when they laid it off, and I'm sure all bookmakers have layoff drops. So that should answer that question. Okay. All right. So we got Manny on. Manny behaved. Manny's good. Everybody's happy now. Manny looks like a movie star. He looks like that movie star that they wanted me to get to play me. The guy who was married to Angelina Jolie. What's his name?
Oh, Brad Pitt?
No,
I don't look like Brad Pitt.
No, the other guy. No, not Angelina Jolie. The Spanish girl. J-Lo. Her last husband. What's her last husband?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I told you that story. I was going into 7-Eleven. I had the beard a little bit longer. And last winter, somebody came up to me. They telling me, "You're Ben Affleck." I said, "No, I'm not Ben Affleck." They kept telling me I'm Ben Affleck. Okay, I'm Ben Affleck.
Just signed an autograph.
No, but the one thing I want to say is, and a trainer just got suspended in the standardbred, but it happens in the standardbred and the thoroughbred.
Who?
How many? I don't want to. I don't want to mention.
Public knowledge.
What was his name? I don't want to make a mistake with his name. He's a bigger guy, a fatter guy. He just got a drug test. But how many times could these thoroughbred trainers and standardbred trainers that use the drugs use the excuse the groom pissed in the stall? I mean, come on, and people listen to this.
No, they don't listen to nothing. You get days. Not too many guys win unless you're a rat for the state.
Any drug that's administered to any horse or anybody who does it or pissed in the stall or put it in the feed, it's the
Still trainer's responsibility
of the trainer.
Yep.
It's a fucking 24/7.
Yeah, but you know what? I think Manny got something there, because Pletcher and a lot of these guys, Baffert, they're able, and I know why, because they have owners that are on the commission. They have owners that have best friends on the commission, and they postpone these things forever and ever and ever. It's not that they get away with it. It's just they postpone them forever, and then when it comes up years and years later, they knock it down to basically nothing. Time served, and the time served is when the tracks are closed or they make some kind of deal. It's all nonsense and bullshit. And what Manny says is basically true. There were a lot of times when guys, the defense was, well, the groom is a cocaine freak and he peed in the stall, and that's why I come up positive. And that's the defense. How are you going to prove that it's not true? But it's something that keeps the case going forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And eventually they just through connections. And all of them top guys have major connections. And I remember in Pompano, I don't want to mention his name because he's my friend. He gave a horse, he used to feed him for a couple of days before the race marijuana. And he got caught, and that's what he says. He says that the groom smokes marijuana, and he was in the stall, and they wound up taking the groom's license away or whatever. And I think he paid a fine or something. But that they make any excuse in the world. And the sad part is, I don't know if HISA. I think the veterinarians on HISA's board should say something. I think they should say that not only are we so far behind the guys that synthesize these drugs, but every time we find one out, they're just going to take one molecule out of something and change it. And we're never going to win the war, that war. So I don't know how they think they're going to end it, but I don't think they're ever going to end it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I know they're trying, but I don't know. I just don't know how they're going to end it, because they're just like there's every day there's new stuff out there. My friend owns a smoke shop, and in the smoke shop every day he comes in. This is something new. This is something new. I don't do any drugs at all, but it's amazing that the guy's becoming wealthy with this stupid smoke shop. The line is unbelievable trying to get in the place. The place is packed, and it's a big place. And every day they have something new, just something new every day. They come from a plant or something. They mix something with something else, and that's the same thing with the horses. And the horses are the ones that are suffering and gonna suffer. And I don't know how they're gonna ever stop it. They're trying to stop it by making, probably the only way they have to stop it is have a massive amount of money for testing, instead of paying all of these fines and what they're going to have to pay for attorneys. I think they're paying a couple of $1 million every year for attorneys. Just put that.
Larry, explain to me. Is it a whipping rule? What's the difference here? It's a crop rule. What's the crop rule? What does that mean?
Eddie knows.
What's crop rule?
You can't hit a horse more than 6 times.
It's a crap rule, not a crop rule. That's what it is.
If you over exceed 6, 7, 8, 9, you get fined, suspended.
And this is in the stretch or throughout the whole race?
Basically, more or less in the stretch, but because when they come out.
So let me ask you a question, which doesn't make sense. I mean, listen, it doesn't even make sense for me. But you're coming around to the stretch, you're getting in the straightaway, your horse is going, and you have the jockey hitting the horse with the whip, and he's still going, and he's reacting to the whip. How could there's got to be a happy medium there where if the horse is coming and the jockey's giving him a tap and keep tapping him, tap, 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 however he does it, and he's coming, there shouldn't be a penalty for that. But if the horse is coming down the stretch and guy's hitting him with the whip and he's going in reverse, then I could understand it. But how could you do that if a horse is in contention?
Well, basically, they should look more upon what you just said of horses that are fading and the jockeys are abusing them by hitting them for no apparent reason to get nothing, really. I mean,
That's what the rule should be, just what you said. If you're hitting a horse 2 or 3 times and he's not responding,
he's back into the field,
there's definitely a problem, and you should be fine. You should stop hitting the horse, and if you don't continue, then that's when you should get a fine. But if you're tapping the horse with the whip or hitting them, whether it be 4, 5, 6, 7 times, if he's responding to that, because that's what horses do, they respond to an action. That's what they do. They don't know what you can't say is okay, buddy, don't let him pass you. They respond to an action. They respond to a training. They respond to an action.
Well, if you're in contention and you're in contention with first 2, 3 horses coming down the stretch at the 16th pole, you're in contention to win. I mean, you're get aggressive. Your adrenaline's flowing, and you're gonna rough ride, and you're gonna ride.
Once that horse starts. Say to you, three across the track at the head of the stretch. If halfway down the stretch, and everybody's whipping and slashing, and one's fading back and right, you should just leave them alone. Leave them alone at that point. That's when they should say abusive use of the whip.
That's the ones they should fine and suspend. The one that
but they're fining guys. They're fining guys for tap, 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 not hitting. They're fining guys for just tapping. Some of the horses respond to tapping. Some of the horses don't respond to whipping.
Well, a lot of the jockeys, once they're in contention, they scrub a horse, they hand ride, and they got the crop, and they hit the shoulders. That's good. You can hit the shoulders, you can switch the whip, hit the left, but you can't reach back and reef more than 6 times. And if you go above your head, that's totally aggressiveness and against all rules. That's what Paco Lopez got suspended 6 months for raising the whip above his helmet in a stake race. I think it was Bookham Dano when he won the race a couple of weeks ago.
I tell you, in the standard bred, you don't even see that the drivers hit the horse anymore. They hit the bike. They don't even hit the horse.
They
hit the wheel.
shaft,
They hit the bike. The shaft. Yeah, the shaft.
pad, the saddle, the number pad, the plastic.
I don't know
But
if
then
they can
instead-
reach the saddle pads
Is
anymore.
there a rule like that with the standardbreds?
There's excessive whipping. I don't know the rule, but there is excessive whipping.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody find a suspended from the standardbred. There's no rule, HISA rule for that. Unless PETA, the PETA, the animal rights people have something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, all right, folks, that's it. I'm tired. We got Manny on. Everybody's friends again. Oh, wait, let's see. What's this say? What's this say here? Joe, Ronnie is not watching right now, but I happen to put, they're talking amongst themselves.
Oh, that's Ronnie's wife, I think. No?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Joe, Ronnie is not watching right now, but I happen to put it on, and I thank you all for the nice things you said about Ronnie.
Yeah, that's his wife, Susie.
Oh, thank you, Susie. It just how I felt. It's the truth, and you know how I feel about Ronnie.
Oh, now I understand. Okay, now I understand. And I think Manny cleared it up too, so we're all okay. Everybody's happy again. Okay. Let's see. Ron Burke. Ron Burke is at 25 million money versus this year, and it's not over yet. Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Burke has 400 horses, too.
Unbelievable.
I read something, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Same thing as the thoroughbreds, as the trotters. They should stop a person like Ron Burke, Todd Pletcher, and Chad Brown. When there is a stake race, they have to have 4 or 5 horses. Ron Burke had 4 or 5 horses in that big freaking, I don't know, $1 million race and trotters or something. But they
Hambletonian? Hambletonian?
I don't know what race there was. I was reading about it that they should.
So, Eddie, before you go on, again, I'm not trying to be controversial with you, okay? So don't take it the wrong way. Don't want to offend nobody. But how do you say, I understand where you're coming from, but Ron Burke had 4 horses in the Hambletonian. Did he win the race? No, he didn't. But how do you tell Ron Burke that when he has 4 horses in the races that he probably paid 100, 300, 200, 400, and he has owners? How do you tell him that? You can't tell him that.
I'm saying they had it as an uncoupled entries.
Explain that, Eddie.
The betting.
Freddie, I'm sorry.
Uncoupled entries. In other words,
okay, I don't know what that means.
It means that he's saying is they should have been racing as an entry.
Entries. One entry. One.
Like what?
In other words,
like 1A,
one same bond, like 1A, 1B, one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eddie, they just stopped that in the thoroughbreds. You said if you have 2 horses in the race.
Yeah, they just did it.
So you think the thoroughbred?
I ain't saying this, but they were saying that they should not allow a trainer put 4 or 5 horses. And the other day, the Woodward, a $500,000 stake race at a 3-horse field.
Wow.
That's totally ignorant, totally stupid. Don't run the
If
race.
if I had a horse in that race, I'd be happy.
Of course, you'll be happy, but as far as the betting
Isn't that a
public-
paid event, Eddie?
Huh?
Isn't that a paid event that you have to, pay,
Yeah, you-
pay into
yeah.
that? So what should they do?
Well,
Refund
the
it?
stake races, yeah.
So they have to race.
Basically. But they could. It's like Chad Brown had 3 horses in the race. They might as well give him a check for each horse. I mean, it's crazy.
Freddie Hudson, who's very involved with HISA, he says that Kentucky is totally on board with HISA.
Well, whatever they are, but I had that big article.
Standardbreds ain't gonna put up with it.
I mean, tell you, Kentucky's going to be the newest game in town.
Not if
And
ICE is involved.
Meanwhile, Aqueduct, Yonkers, and Jake's 58 out in Long Island got all approved to get table games.
Say that again.
Yonkers, Aqueduct, and Jake's 58. And in the Bronx, they got resorts. They're going to build I don't know how many $billion resort gambling casino in the Bronx.
I heard the 5 boroughs didn't get anything.
Aqueduct got okayed, table games. Yonkers got okayed by MGM. And Jake's 58 out in Long Island.
Well, they say Steve Cohen might get something in Flushing too. He put a bid in for
either in Flushing or in Bronx or somewhere. I hear a lot of the crap. I don't know. Let me see if I can.
But Eddie, back to the thing with the entries. On a betting standpoint, which I don't bet horses. Very rarely do I do it. Yeah, here and there to kid around, but I don't bet it seriously.
When I give you a horse, you bet.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not a horse better.
Yes.
But that's like at the end of the day.
This was written on a thing. I didn't
No,
say it.
no, but if a trainer has 4 horses in a race, and you putting them all down, that's not good for the other bettors because you bet the horse. You got 4 horses.
Yeah, understand. And you lose. I tell you, the more horses you have, the more money that it goes into the pari-mutuel wagering, because each horse has so much bet on them. It's unbelievable. You got win, play, show, trifectas, exactas, daily doubles, superfectas, pick 3s, pick 4s. So if one horse is scratched, and if you have 4 horses and it's an entry, it's only a 1 betting interest. I understand that. But
What was the other article you were talking about? You said you had an article.
about Kentucky?
You said you had something.
Yeah, Kentucky. I don't know where the fuck it is now. I sent it to somebody. I don't know who. I sent Larry a couple of things.
Oh, yeah. Look at this.
Huh?
You know who that is?
Yep.
Mighty Ford and Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, I sent you that. Yeah.
I sent you that, Larry.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle had horses.
Yeah.
No, they were doing a celebrity thing. That's how they attracted people back then.
Mickey
They had
Mantle did own
celebrity
horses.
races.
Mickey Mantle did have horses.
Who was Joe? Who was his trainer?
Phil Rizzuto.
Joe
I don't know.
Torre.
I don't know, but a lot of these athletes had horses. Mickey Rivers was at Yonkers Raceway every night.
All right.
That's Rock Vinci and Roger Hammer.
Oh, that Rock Vinci. I'll tell
Whatever
you a
happened
story
to
about
Rock
that.
Vinci? Where the hell is he?
He's still out there. He's still out there, Larry.
He just raced. They said he won. It was an
He-
80-year-old, two 80-year-old guys won races.
He's
Wow.
still out there.
That's
You
what
want to
that
hear
article says.
a little story about Rock Vinci?
Yeah.
Okay. Yonkers Raceway. I had a horse called Jump Street. We took him to Meadowlands, me and Renee, and we went over. We trained the horse in a maiden, 56 in a piece. We brought him back to Yonkers. We put him into race. Guess who we put up on to drive? John Orlando. Okay?
Johnny Orlando.
Yeah, Gomez.
Gomez.
Okay. Goes off 59-1. We bet our house on the horse. Everything you could think of, from pick trees to pick fours, well, whatever. Okay. Jody Stafford had a 3 to 5 shot in a race. So we told Go Gomez, just float him out of there, get to the lead, and they ain't going to beat you. We sprung from the gate. He went out to leave. Stafford had the 1 hole. He was going alongside of him, and the Buxton broke on my horse. So the horse made a little bobble, and Stafford let him in the 2 hole. But Rock Vinci was behind, and he tried to rush up and close the hole, and he hit my wheel. Horse made a break. His horse. I win from here to Yonkers Avenue, 59-1. All of a sudden, inquiry. Rock Vinci claiming foul against J.O. We yelling to J.O., don't come to the winner's circle, because he came by the winner's circle. Offer him $5,000 to shut the fuck up. He did not. He claimed foul, and they DQ'd us. That piece of shit. I'm serious. They're lucky those guys didn't go and look for him.
Wow.
We would have collected about 60, 70,000 without a blink of an eye. We had everything. I'm telling you, the horse went by a city block.
Wow.
See what we were talking about last time, Joe? The last thing to be developed on the horse is right up
I
high.
said it's the ass end, the gluteal muscle.
Right up high.
Was I right?
Oh, so
You know
so
the-
Larry,
But
Larry.
Wait a minute. Larry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said the last thing we talked about was that the last thing that got developed on a horse was his whole hind end. That's exactly what this shows.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But you know,
glutes.
of this photograph here, the thing that's the most stand out to me is looking at this is the hock, the lower part of the hock. That's everything else, all the way up until the stifle and the shoulder, is already developed, except for that one hock, except for the hock. So that's why so many horses, especially in the standardbreds, so many of the trotters have trouble with their hocks at 2-year-olds. That's why Houghton used to sell a lot of them off, and guys like Anthony DeGero would buy them for $5,000 and just lay them up until that part right there develops. And that's why years ago, if you remember, they used to cut the jack cords all the time.
Yeah.
It was the jack cord. It was this. It was that. They would never. But this one thing, and this is the only one I found that shows that everything else up until right up until the shoulder and the stifle, everything is almost fully developed except for the hock. The hock is almost a year behind the rest of them, and that's
When you call Sadowski.
Larry, what is that in the back leg, the dark green? What is that little spot right there?
That's the hock.
Oh, that's the hock. Okay.
Yeah. That's the hock.
So
And if you
you have
not here. That's not developed until 3.5, 4 years old, when all the rest of it is, and that's why so many young trotters have a problem, behind, because that, especially the lower part, because the lower part of the hock, they have, I think, 6 or 7 bones back there that don't fuse until they're 5 years old. And very good veterinarians can get in between them little tiny bones in the lower hock. Some of it can't even get in there, but and you can inject them, and that's what they get away with a lot. But when we used to cut the jacks and everything, it was like useless. But everybody was trying to figure it out.
And then you got
Joe,
the radiation.
Joe, did you inject, when you injected a horse, did you inject in the joints?
Yeah,
You did go into the joints.
yeah, of course.
If you don't go into the joints, what's the sense of it? What are you going to inject?
No, a lot of trainers don't go into the joints. They're worried about infection and all this other. They say it's serious every time you go in the joint.
I never had any infection. The only thing that happened once, the needle broke inside a horse's hock. In other words, the horse moved and the needle snapped.
Oof.
And it was lodged inside the hock. And he was sound. He raced. It never caused a problem. And
The biggest problem, and I always ask this, and every vet has a different question. Now, naturally, listen, Manny, every trainer in the world injects a joint, every single one. So I don't know what they what they say that they're in favor of. It's bullshit. Every single trainer is. But here's the point. Here's the part about the infection. Now I always ask the trainer this. Some trainers, some veterinarians went and say, okay, I want to inject the 2 front ankles. Okay, they come with the very fine clippers and they clip it. Some vets don't clip. So, and I always ask, why would you clip them? Why? The ones that leave the hair long say, because there's less of a chance of the needle grabbing a hair. And if the hair is long, it'll go right through the hairs into the joint. Where if you clip it, it's if you hit the needle just at the spur, where the hair is clipped short, it's sticking straight up. And if the needle hits it right there, it'll drive the root and everything right into the joint.
right.
So a lot of them just unless they have a very, very fine clipper, most of them just do it.
As long as you scrub it really good, with iodine, and they scrub until the cotton is clean. You usually don't have a problem if you got a decent vet.
I don't even remember. I must have injected thousands of them. I never had an infection.
No, I didn't either.
No. Well, with all the inject too. I mean, some guys I remember when me and you, Joe, were talking about injecting. We're talking about injecting cortisone or acid or something like that.
Right. I used a lot of Hylantin V, a lot of Adequan.
Right. But when acid first came out, if you remember, there's $100 a vial.
Yeah, $150 a syringe.
Germany and this and that.
Yeah, George Kleiman was selling them.
Yeah. But there was if you got the acid that worked the best, it was the one made from the chickens, whatever you call that thing.
Right, the rooster comb.
Right. But the problem with that was a lot got infected because the horse's body reacted to that. It would come from a different animal. And that was the only infections that I seen.
Yeah, I never had any problem with infections. And I was in a claiming business. So, I mean, routinely I injected horses. I mean,
that's what you
had
did in the standardbred. It was automatic. You claim a horse, you come back and find out left front ankle. Okay, vet, next morning, you inject it and he's ready to go in 6 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
And the thoroughbreds, they make a big deal out of it.
Larry, when I went to Eddie's barn, I couldn't believe that you're not even allowed to paint the horse. Eddie told me that if a horse shows scurf on him, scurf or whatever,
scratch,
that you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're scratched. If you find one bit of scurf on the horse, he's scratched.
Now, Eddie, why is that? I mean, you're just painting a horse.
Because it's it's like you can't pin fire or freeze fire. You're burning you're burning the horse's skin.
Cruelty.
Cruelty to animals.
Yeah, but it's helping the horse.
But they don't know that. They don't see it that way. You're hurting the horse before you're helping them. But
So do you feel, Joe, do you feel internal blister hurts a horse?
No.
No, and if you use like McKay's we used to use to do their SNs, I've never had a problem, and it strengthens them. It heals it. It brings circulation to the area. It brings blood.
Well, most of the internal blisters there, it's
Causes scar tissue.
yeah, but it's not straight iodine. It's always mixed with almond.
Yeah, I used to use McKay's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, now they're doing it with Dex.
Joe, who is this? That's my friend there. I didn't.
That's Sal DeMario.
Right.
Sal worked for me. I grew up with him. I met him in Westchester Community College. He's the one who wrote the contract up for Delaware when they got the casino. Yeah. He was a genius. He went to Columbia University. He was working for me as a groom. And I seen an ad in the Hoofbeats about a judge job or something like that somewhere in New England. And I said, Sal, why didn't you apply for this? And he did, and he got the job, and then he moved on he got the position at Delaware. And next to him is me and my father, right next to me. And my good friend Joe Scalisi, who's a boat captain.
I guarantee you we can get him on the show. I guarantee you. I used to sit with him every day for 2 or 3 months in the paddock in Delaware.
He won. He right there was that in Deerfield Beach. They gave him the award for Horseman of the Year or some kind of award. But he was a big part of Delaware's
success
casino.
Yeah,
he wrote up everything. A very smart guy.
Yeah, I guarantee if I have his phone number. I think I told you.
We were gonna 3-way call. You said the next day, but
yeah. I don't know how to do it. I don't know.
I don't either.
But I'm gonna call him. I guarantee we can get him on the show.
I'll give him a call tomorrow.
All right. Ask him if
Larry.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question because I wanted to comment so bad when you guys were talking about the 2-year-old racing. Are you against 2-year-olds racing?
It'd have to be very, very. You're talking about standardbreds or thoroughbreds?
Standardbreds.
I'll put it to you this way. Because I never had 2-year-olds until the last 2 years that I was in the business. So I really never thought that much about it. My whole life was always claimers. But I'll tell you what my feelings. My feelings of 2-year-olds is exactly that. Now, I know one thing for sure, and it's for definite sure. All of these bones that you see, all of the colors that I don't know if you can see it or not, but up until they're 2 years old, right up until none of that above the knee or the hock is ever fully developed. However, if you just left them in the paddock, the bones get tougher and harder and bigger and stronger with concussion, with work. So for that reason, I wouldn't just break a horse and turn them out like some people believe should be done. I would race them, but I would be very, very careful, and I pay close attention. I think you got a better shot with standardbreds racing 2-year-olds than with thoroughbreds, and it shows because the standardbreds they don't get buck shins, they don't get none of the problem. The biggest problem with the thoroughbred 2-year-olds are knees and shins and feet. That's the biggest problem with 2-year-olds. So for them problems and the hocks, but nobody pays attention to them because they bounce right off their back and they land on the front. So 70-80% of all the weight on the 2-year-old thoroughbred is on the front end. And so you have more of a reason, you have a stronger argument not to race a 2-year-old thoroughbred than you do for a 2-year-old trotter, a standardbred. But neither one should just be, if his career is going to be racing, then he should be trained and he should be managed properly and watched very closely as a 2-year-old, because that's when the bones and everything start to grow bigger and stronger and not stay the same size. They actually grow maybe just like a muscle. They actually do get the bone get bigger and stronger with more trauma. Trauma does it, but it's a fine line. You got to pay attention. So I don't know. If I had to give an answer, I would say I would have to say I'd watch him closely, and I would pay very, very close attention to the knees, especially the knees on a thoroughbred. And I guarantee you, if you took X-rays of all the 2-year-olds that are racing, probably half of them, and took the good X-rays, you would find micro fractures, and so you just got to be careful. So it would depend on the horse. So that's my answer. It all depends on the horse. Some I would race, but after every race, I would pay very, very close attention to the knees with the thoroughbred. With the standardbreds, they usually handle it. The biggest problem most of the time with the standardbred is that one dark area, that green area with the hock there. But the thoroughbreds are so, you could see just from this, the development, the whole back end, right where the rider sits, right over the cage. It's still not developed until look, you can even see the jaw. They still have 2-year-old caps. They still have 3-year-old caps, and it's the same color as the hock. And the horse is 3 years old, and you can see at the jawline. So that's the only thing.
A standardbred 2-year-old though only races 6-7 times if it makes it.
No, they race more than that. They race more than that.
I had a 2-year-old this year. I had a 2-year-old this year that I bred myself. He went to Poconos, his first race. He paced in 54 flat, and I said to him, I think he came second. I was so happy about it. I called Ray up. I said, Ray, we got something good here. This was Captain Nemo's son. I said, we got something good here. Now, the gray horse I have, Descended Down Slim, the one that you watched,
yeah,
this is her half-brother. The gray horse is by Huntsville. Now, the 2-year-old that I have this year is by Captain Nemo that I owned him. After the race, I spoke to Ray. He goes, no, that's it. I said, what do you mean that's it? He says, I'm turning the horse out. His knees are open. We got to turn him out, let him come back as a good 3-year-old. He's got to grow more. We can't race him no more. And that was the end of it. I said, okay, no problem.
Eddie, you fall asleep?
No, I'm here. I'm listening.
Ray's pretty sharp guy. Ray's been around a long time, and Ray's one of them guys strictly with the horses. He does it all. He don't mind cleaning stalls, shipping horses, driving horses. He's out there no matter what the weather is. He's very good at what he does, and he's a hard worker, and he's good at what he does, and he's probably smarter than most. He's when he knows when to rush him. He knows what horses to rush. He's very, very. In other words, let me explain it a little bit better. And maybe I'm wrong, but because I'm just going by what I see. Let's say Ray has a horse that has a lot of quick speed, but it's cheap speed. It's bullshit speed. It's like maybe a 2-year-old going a quarter in 30 seconds in January, going a mile in say 2 minutes in January. 30 to 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Okay. So he'll put him in a baby race real early. The first baby races that come up, first 2-year-old races that come up, knowing that he's just got cheap speed. And eventually, a horse with a little class is just going to beat him, because once you get away from the cheap speed, by cheap speed, I mean a quarter in 30 seconds, first eighth and 15, second eighth and 15. That's a quarter of a mile in 30 seconds. So you get a horse with a little class and you train with him. You may go to the first eighth and 15, but the classy horse will come the next eighth in 13 seconds. So Ray would take that 15-15 horse and put it and win the baby race early, and he looks like a champ compared to that, and then sell him, and then sell him. He knows the ones to take the time with, and that's what I believe he does. And he was very successful. He made a lot of money selling 2-year-olds, syndicating them early on. He knows the ones to get rid of. He's a pretty sharp guy. He's a pretty sharp guy. And that's just my opinion, because I really never was that close with Ray. So that's just by me watching from afar. But he's pretty sharp. You're with a good guy. You're with a sharp guy.
Ray treated it like a business, though. He was, go. If they didn't go,
Joe, I got a. I got a question for you, Joe.
Yeah. I'm listening.
For you, Joe.
Yeah.
When they say a horse is cheat, what does it mean when they say in the standardbred the horse is cheating? What does that mean?
In other words, the horse has more ability than he wants to show. He's not trying. The horse is not trying.
So that's what that means. When it comes back, he's cheating. He's not trying his hardest.
Right. He's not. He's capable of more than he's
not
done.
giving 100%.
Right.
That's when you got to hit him, tap him with the whip a little more.
Well, sometimes you make them worse with that.
It depends on the horse.
With them kind of horses that hang and they cheat. They tried everything from shadow rolls with pins behind the ears so they don't pin their ears back, so they can't pin them back. And almost everything they try don't work. When you get one of them, the best thing to do when you get one of them is to cut them real early and just cross your fingers, because it's just a head thing.
That's what happened with Gallo Blue Chip. He was sold. As a matter of fact, Ray had the horse. He sold him.
That's my friend's horse, Joe.
They gelded him, and he turned out to make $2 million or whatever.
Yeah. That's Joe. That's my friend's horse, Marty Shaw. Marty Shaw.
I think Ray had the horse. I think Ray sold him to Mark Ford.
Mark Ford. So I heard the story when they bought Gallo Blue Chip. He was a nasty, nasty horse. He sold him for $20,000. They said that the horse, he pinned his ears back. They said if you try to get it stall, he would try to kill you.
Yeah. He made like $4 million.
And he paid $20,000 for him because nobody wanted him.
Yeah. But gelding was the right idea.
I mean, after gelding, when you get a horse like that just won't try, after gelding them, there's not many things that you could do. You could try to load them up with some steroids and something. I remember, now there's really not much you could do. It's just a head thing, and there's not much you could do.
Some horses are smarter than the trainers and drivers.
Yeah, you just got to cut them as early as you could. But a lot of people don't want to do that because they have dreams that he's going to be a stake winner. They can syndicate him for millions of dollars. In the meantime, they wind up with the horse that won't try. And,
but Larry, you don't want to cut a horse if you got a 2-year-old. So that's the other thing with the 2-year-old that I noticed. When you have a foal that's born in February, that's really a true 2-year-old. Now that's going against a horse that was born in May. The one in May is still basically a yearling because it's only a year and 7 months, a year and 8 months, or whatever. So there's a big difference there. But you don't think that gelding a horse too early stunts its growth?
That's the job of a trainer. If you know what you're doing, you'll know when the time is that this horse has to be cut. You'll know. And you're right. If they have 2-year-old races in February or March, some 2-year-olds are racing against horses that are a year and a half old. But that's another story. But the point is that you have to know. You have to be, if you're around enough and you've been around horses enough, you know when the horse is not trying. Now, naturally, there's a lot of things that you could do getting them to that point. You could surround them by horses. You could drag them along. You could do a lot of things to try to make them try to snap mad at that, to learn this is what you got to do. You can put a lasso around their neck and just try to drag them and let them snap. There's a lot of things you got to do. And sometimes you might even have to, with a cattle prod, 10,000 volts, just hit them once and see. I'm not saying abuse them, but there's things that you try to get them when you know that a horse is not trying, when they're just not trying, and when some horses don't even pin their ears. They just don't try. Yeah. You got to know when the time is right, but try. There's 3 or 4 things that you could try before you get to that point. But when that point comes, if you don't cut them, you're going to be left with a horse that just don't try.
I seen guys geld horses when they were 5, 6 years old. I'll give you a perfect example. Henry Fillion had a horse. I think Jean Drolet, when Jean Drolet and Henry Fillion hooked up, they had a horse called Royal Rick's Pride. They gelded him when he was 8 years old, and the horse turned out to be a good horse for the next 3 or 4 years. And he was 6 or 8 years old. He was old, and they gelded him then, and it made a big difference.
Hervé sent me up a horse. I was trying to think of the horse's name when you were talking about that. I can't think of the horse's name, but it was a really nice horse. He was a free for all for a lot of years. And I was in Pompano, and Hervé called me up and he says, "You have room? I want to send you a horse down here. See what you could do with him, because he runs out. Makes no difference what you put on him. He just runs out. He runs out. He runs out." Well, naturally, I tried everything. Naturally,
you end up gelding him, and he went straight as an arrow.
Well, no. The problem was, and this was the problem. After we tried everything. I mean, sometimes we even one time I even completely blinded him, and he just run out, just run out. You couldn't put a head pole on it because he'd lock on the head pole, and then you couldn't steer him in. So he was just dangerous. And one time I told I forgot the guy's name. I forgot his name. I says, I want you to inject him just like you would castrate him. First the sack and then go all the way up.
All right, block him.
And he went straight as an arrow. But the problem was the horse was 12 years old, and I called Hervé, and he says, "Don't cut him, just retire him." And I sent him back home, and they retired him. I forgot the name of the horse. He was a real good horse, but I raced him once, and he won. He won at Pompano on the outside fence, and that was it. After that, that was it. Because I told him, I says, I could probably win a race with him. But by the 3/4 pole, he was hurting bad and just started running sideways, and it was sad. But I couldn't put head poles on him because he'd lock on the head pole. Even if I put it like on a triple ring, he'd just lock right on it, and then you couldn't
bend it.
Yeah, you couldn't pull him in. So, but see, Manny, there's many things, and I'm telling you this because I know that you love the horses, and eventually you probably want to have a little stable of your own and fool around, whether it be thoroughbreds or standardbreds. But I'm just telling you this. In the business that you're in, when you put a form together and you pour cement and you take the form away, that's it. That's what you're built. When you build a brick wall, the next day it's a brick wall. When you break a horse, it's what you think is going to happen the next day when you take the form off. That's not the case. It's always, every horse is different, and you're going to run into a lot of problems, and you really better know what you're doing. I never forget the time when my friend Jimmy, he always had horses. He always had, whenever he had one, he always had horses in Monticello with some other guy. I can't think of his name. And whenever they couldn't do nothing, he sent them to me, and I'd win every race with him. In fact, half of them pitches I got over there with Jimmy's horses that he couldn't win. He couldn't win in Monticello. I won with him at the Meadowlands. But you have to know it's not like building a house. It's not like nailing two 2x4s together. It's different, and you better know the difference between a foot, an ankle, a knee, a shoulder, a heart, a stifle, a whalebone. You gotta know the difference. Otherwise, and Jimmy didn't know the difference. And when he went out on his own, I got him, I think 10 stalls. That's how many goes he had. He wanted to go to Pompano. I got him 10 stalls. The kid that used to work for me, Bobby Owens, was the stall man there at Pompano, and I got Jimmy 10 stalls.
Bobby Owens, I remember him.
Yeah. He disappeared out of
Yeah.
it. I think he just vanished. I saw him, the last time I saw him was when I went to Pompano years and years ago. But he wound up going broke because he just thought, he's a smart guy. He just thought he knew everything. And he too was a builder. In fact, he built a home for the guy who owned Home Depot. He was he used to build homes for him. And he was a very good builder. But he thought he had horses, and then he thought, being around a long time, he thought it was it's an easy game, and it's not, and it takes a lot of experience, I mean, just try to figure out. And in fact, I'm going to tell you a story. Cam Fella, I'm glad I remember his name. I was in California.
That was a good horse.
I was in California with I forgot the horse's name, but they had a big race out there, and I brought 4 or 5 horses out there just to go on vacation. But he was eligible for this race, so I went out there. Who was at the end of the barn was Cam Fella, and they were looking to sell him at the time for $100,000. And I'm looking at him, and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And one day, when everybody was gone in the afternoon, I went in the stall and I started checking him. And I checked and I checked and I checked. And because he would go good, he wouldn't nod, he wouldn't do nothing, but they just wanted to get rid of him for some reason.
Pat Crow had him?
Yeah, I think it was Pat Crow. Anyway, I told Aaron, I says, I think I know what the problem was. You know what the problem was? And this is very hard. It was a blind splint, and a high blind splint on the inside of I think it was the right front leg. And if you just palpate it around a certain way at a certain thing, he would just jump like that. And then you could put it down, and if you just have standing in there and feeling around and everything, like I'm sure they did, looking for something, you would never find it. You had to really dig and stick your thumb in there right under the knee. Yeah. But Aaron says, well, if you want them, buy him. And I says, well, I don't know. And then I never bought him, but I would have bought him. He was sell for $100,000. Now I hope somebody can, because that sounds like a bullshit story, but I hope somebody can call in. And he was in California the year. I wish I could remember the year. He was in the last stall in the barn, and he was for sale for $100,000. And I found, and it was a blind splint. Now that's what I mean. If you know what you're doing, you're going to look for these things. But
if you find it, it's a home run.
Yeah, but when you don't know what you're doing, you're going to wind up like Jimmy, going for a lot of money, and
listening to 10 different people.
Yeah, and the worst part is you wind up getting addicted to the veterinarian, because he's going to come and he's going to charge you a lot of money, and before you know it, you got a $3,000-$4,000 vet bill, and they're going to say, well, let's keep him on Robaxin for a while. That should loosen. In the meantime, the problem that's like the secondary problem, and the third-dairy problem, and the fourth-dairy problem. And they put his hand on his back, and they make him sit down, and they say, well, we got to inject his back. In the meantime, he got a blind quarter crack up front or something, and it's you just got to know what you're doing. So that's my advice to you, Manny. I know you love the horses, and I know that someday you're probably going to have your own stable, whether it be thoroughbreds or standardbreds, and you just have to know. And the sad part is, if you get into the thoroughbred game without being in the standardbred game first, you probably got no chance. You probably got no chance unless you get really lucky. You got no.
Larry, I had this conversation with Eddie, and when I get this horse with Eddie, I want Eddie to show me with the thoroughbreds. I have to tell you, with the standardbreds, honestly, I like them. I don't think that's for me. There's too much involved. Head poles, this, that pole, different. There's 100 different bits.
You don't have to worry about that.
No, but I want Eddie to show me with the thoroughbreds, so that maybe one day.
You got the right attitude right now. Just see what he just says. That's what you should do. You're right. There's too much. There's too much for a young guy. And I know. And I know you absorb everything. You're a very smart guy. You're a very sharp guy. And everything is let's do it. You're a hard worker and everything else. But you're better off with the thoroughbreds. And you can go. It's 20 minutes from your house. You can go by Eddie, buy 1 or 2 horses. My recommendation is buy a 2030 claimer that has a little back class that might have a few problems. Eddie will show you what to look for, how to look for it, and everything else. You don't have to worry about rigging, equipment. You don't have to worry about nothing. It's basic bullshit. That's what it is. And he can help you with that. That's your best shot. If you don't do that, you're gonna have to stay at Snickers Barn for years before you get to what he knows.
That's why when you told me I don't know about standardbreds, I told you, no, I do know about standardbreds. I know every time the horse comes back, when I do go to the race to the path, he saw a shadow, he jumped a shadow, something ran across the track, the head pole, he ran inside, he ran outside, he wasn't good today, he was short today, he needed a tightener. No, I don't need to hear all that.
Yeah, you should make a book of excuses. You could probably make 300 pages. All excuses.
We're gonna change it. We're gonna change. I like your attitude, Larry. Blinkers on, blinkers off.
That's it.
The only problem is with the standardbreds and training them is that when a trainer sits behind one, he could evidently find the problems out by himself.
Yeah, you're right. You're in the hands of the exercise.
See, with the thoroughbreds, you got to know what you're looking for, and by asking questions to the exercise rider or a groom, and they direct you, or you could see when a horse is sore, if they're left front, right front, rear, back, Most of them, they get saddle sore, bad saddle, like Larry was pointing out, up where the saddle area goes, because they really got to push off a lot in their hocks. A lot of thoroughbred trainers don't pay attention to the hocks. They're always in the front. If you go see Linda Rice, every morning she takes out all the horses, runs them up and down the concrete, goes right to the front legs, puts her hand down from the knee down to the ankle, and that's it. You're off to go. I said, what about the SN? What is there? Nothing there? They don't check it. But, you'll learn because you are inquisitive. You're opinionated, which is good. And you're willing to learn, which is even better. And, you'll hit a home run. You come with me, and you're welcome to come any day. I know you're busy, but,
No, it's a whole lot. It's like instead of going to college for 10 years, with the thoroughbreds, you only have to go for a year. That's it.
The whole harness racing, I don't know about thoroughbred racing, but harness racing is a game of opinions. And when you get to trust your own opinion and not rely on other people, that's when you improve horses. When you make changes, when you feel things and you see things that from experience, that's when you do good. When you got faith in yourself and trust in yourself, then you'll do good. But you got to get to that point where you you're not relying on other people's opinions.
And it's not a guessing game, you know.
It's not a guessing game.
No.
And even as far as equipment goes.
Yeah.
I mean, people get an equipment card and they just do what it says. Most of the time you don't need half the stuff and half of the sizes if things are wrong.
Joe, it's just the harness, because when I was in my 20s, I went to the races. I used to drive the horses to Poconos. I used to go pick up the trailer. I would bring the horses, and I went with Frank to all the races, and it's just a lot. Everything, you have to check everything.
You
the
gotta
hobbles.
love it. You got to dedicate your life to it if you're going to do it. And
No, but you got
sit
to
behind them and be hands-on. You can't do it by driving them in a truck or watching them over the fence. You got to sit behind them.
But the hobbles are too loose. The hobbles are too tight. They're too uptight.
Very important part of the business.
There's just so many mechanics.
Not only that, but you have to know why they're too tight or why they're too loose, or how much to let them out or how much to take in.
Exactly.
Should they ride higher? Should they ride lower? Is the horse hitting the bottom of the hobble? Does it have to be raised in the middle? There's so many things you have to learn about each piece of equipment that you put on. With the thoroughbreds, it's simple. Put a saddle on and a bridle. That's it. Go.
Blinkers on, blinkers off.
That's it. And the most you have to worry about, and you got the man right there, the lameness, just the lameness part, and pay a special attention to the feet. Get the best blacksmith on the ground. Just pay a special attention to the feet. And if I was you, I would learn how to, because it's so easy. It's so easy to put glue-ons on. And if you don't want to put glue-ons on, you want to have the nails on, it's so easy to take the foot that has a very thin wall and just build it up. They have this stuff out that's like you put it on, and the next morning you got a brand new foot. All you need is about 1/4 of an inch, and you can nail the shoe right in there. And you don't have to worry about quicking horse or nothing. Once you solve that problem, because that's going to be the main problem. 99% of the horses that are at Aqueduct right now at Belmont or Saratoga are quick, at least with one nail. I guarantee you that. So all you got to do is pay attention to the feet, and that's it. Just get a good blacksmith and tell the black. And when you pull the shoe off, and that he'll do, I'll show you. Pull the shoe off, pick up the foot. Say, okay, here's the wall. This is where the nail hit. Here's the white part. You can't go in there. You can't go there. You can only go here by the wall. He'll show you where that is. But then you're going to see nail holes on the inside of that wall, which means they're quick.
Yep.
So you just get, now if that wall is very, very thin, and they all are, just get that stuff that they sell. I don't know the name of it, and I do it with fiberglass, and just put it on, wrap it with saran wrap the next morning. In fact, in 20 minutes sometimes it's solid. But the next morning you have a new wall. You have a wall that's out 1/4 of an inch, and you have plenty of room. You don't have to worry about quicking. That eliminates 90% of the problems that thoroughbreds have. Right there, just by paying attention to that and know how to, and have a good blacksmith that'll tell you that, yeah, maybe we should rebuild the walls on these feet. But if you can afford it, and you could afford Ian McKinley, let him just come in and put glue-ons on once every 5-6 weeks. I mean, is standardbred and thoroughbred the same thing? Because I seen some of my horses with standardbred where the blacksmith took too much of the foot off, and the horse. It's two different feet. The standardbred's foot is much stronger than the thoroughbred's foot. The wall is twice as thick, and the standardbred use nails that are longer and thicker than the thoroughbred nails that are shorter and thinner. So that goes because the thoroughbred's foot is a lot smaller, and the wall is a lot thinner. So you always have to be careful.
Thoroughbreds, where do they put toe weights on thoroughbreds, or that's only standardbreds?
Standardbred. That's just for weight, but that's for weight for trot.
That's obsolete now. I think
trot is a high step. Yeah.
No.
A good blacksmith will tell you where your horse is lame just by looking at his shoes.
You know what I used to put aluminum shoes on standardbreds.
Now I think every standardbred has them.
I raised 99% of my horses with victory plates.
Yeah. With a toe grab. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They really went better. Less
100%
weight.
better.
But that's it, Manny. That's my advice to you for the day. If you're going to get into the horse business, like I know that you love the horses, get into the thoroughbred business only because you have your own business and you can't devote the time that you'll need to be successful because you got to spend the whole day at the barn. Not only that, but you'll drive Ray crazy asking him a million questions. Why are you doing this? Why this? Why this? It'll take you forever to learn. And if you go out on your own too soon, you're gonna fail. Where with the thoroughbreds, you could be successful almost right away. Maintain feet, and then Eddie can show you the rest. It's simple.
Hey, Larry, Joe, one thing I never understood? I went back to look because when I went to look at Larry's, I looked up Larry's record. And then I called him, and then he didn't want to hear it no more. I said, "Oh, you did good this year, this, that, the other. You did great this year." But I went back to look at my horses. I probably owned over 100 horses. I forgot half of their names. But I will tell you this. One thing I never understood is when I used to go up to the track, Frank would tell me sometimes this horse could go free-legged. He could pace free-legged. So I used to say to him, well, then why don't you race him free-legged? Why do you put the hobbles on him? If he could go free-legged, what the hell do you put the hobbles on him for? I never understood that. If a horse could go free-legged, why do you put hobbles on him?
Well, because
you have to qualify him first of all, free-legged. I think
it's a whole process. You got to qualify him, and then if you want to put him back, you got to qualify him again, right. And then you better be right. It
makes a break. Then you got to qualify him again with the hobbles.
Yeah, and it's different if you say, "Yeah, I just trained him."
He's gone.
We lost Manny.
Lost him. All right, Larry, I'm going to hit the canvas, man.
All right, I'm going to end this now. As soon as Manny should come right back on, I'm going to end it. Joe, thanks for coming on.
All right. I'm going to bring my son on next week.
Okay.
All right. I'll do that.
I was supposed to. I was waiting till the last minute to cancel this show tonight because I was supposed to meet. My friend whose father had to go.
There he is.
Morning. Yeah. Anyway. I was gonna go meet with some people tonight, so I was gonna cancel. But next Tuesday, I'd be fine because I didn't know tonight if I was even gonna do the show. I was gonna see if he was gonna come anyway. Anyway,
right. Good night, everybody.
He's going to sleep. Manny, nice seeing you again.
Take care, Manny.
Joe,
Larry.
Nice seeing you again. I hope your father stays well.
Thank you.
I hope your kids are okay and your beautiful wife is okay, and I'll talk to you soon. And that's it. I'm hanging up and I'm going to sleep. I'm very tired.
Angelique, stay strong.
Oh, yeah, Angelique. Take care.
Larry, you got to play the song before you go.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Joe.
Where is this? The song. Wait a minute. Here it is. You ready?
Dump those grudges, ditch those judges. They're just weighing you down. Drop the haters, procrastinators, 'cause one man's smile is just another one's frown. When it's time for the end, ain't no warning, my friend. One day you're here, next stop the pearly gates. So listen close to what I'm saying. Lighten up, it's getting late. Dump collections, self-reflections, they're just covered in dust. Why obsess, worry or stress? Just ask yourself, what's the fuss? When your doctor calls you on a Sunday afternoon, gonna be a blue Monday, you'll be howling at the moon. You know you never can cheat fate. lighten up. It's getting late. Forget bling and glitter, text and Twitter. Don't need it to make my case. Say it old school, face to face. Dump the users, soul abusers, turn and walk away. Give yourself a kick in the ass, then raise your glass. Let's toast to the past and make the most of today. Keep the faith, rise above, do the things that you love. Find a reason every day to celebrate. So listen close to what I'm saying. Lighten up, it's getting late. Live it well, have a blast. Live it full, life goes fast. Carrying around too much dead weight. All the simple things are all that matter. Lighten up, it's getting late. Oh, what the hell? IGL. Oh, lighten up. It's getting late.
All right, before I go, I got to say one thing that just came to my attention. I don't know who this guy is, Brady or whatever his name is, but hold on. Brady, I don't know. You know, I stopped my friend from showing me how to show Sundance how to bar somebody and how to find out who they are, because I don't want to bar anybody. If I have a problem, I want to talk it out, or however you want to handle the problem, it's okay with me. I've been doing that my whole life. But when you get these fucking keyboard tough guys like you, and you say these disgusting fucking things, just remember, just remember. And I said this once before, and I'll say it again. I still remember how to swing a fucking bat. So just stop the nonsense. Stop the bullshit. And Manny's my friend. And if you're going to come on this show, be respectful. Be respectful. And if I see your name again and you're not respectful, then we're going to take it to the next fucking level. And I hate to talk like this because I sound like a fucking 15-year-old asshole. Okay? But it's guys like you that get me crazy. Just stop. Just stop with your nonsense. You must have a. I don't know. Maybe Manny. Maybe you know, Manny. Do jerk-offs know they're jerk-offs? Do assholes know they're assholes, or they just think that everybody is like whatever they do is right? How could you say something like that? And you know another thing, Brady, whatever the fuck your name is. You see that's why Joe's right. I should just not pay attention to this stuff. But it's so fucking vulgar and bad. I know one thing for sure. You see the guy that you just mentioned, Manny? I'll bet you my house that you wouldn't say that to his face.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Right.
He would, Larry. He wouldn't do that.
So
that he wouldn't do.
All right, so we know he wouldn't do that. So why say this?
I think that they look for a reaction, Larry, and they want to get a reaction. If they get a reaction out of me or you, but a guy like this, Larry, what I would tell this guy Brady is, I don't do the talking with my mouth. I'm gonna let you do that. But if he had he doesn't even know me. He doesn't know who I am. But if he has such a problem with me, he can put his address there. If he's in New York, I can guarantee you I could guarantee you, let him put his address there. I will go right to him and meet him.
Yeah, well,
But he
we
won't
both
do
know
that.
We both know that. You see, here's the problem. We both know that ain't ever gonna happen. We both know that. You know how many times in the beginning when these fucking jerk-offs come on and say this, I offered to send an Uber for them. One guy was out of the fucking state. He offered to send them. They never show up. They just don't ever show up. And if someday some guy shows up, fine. That's good. We'll handle it. I've been around fucking scumbags and jerk-offs my whole fucking life, and I'm still here. Okay? So, Brad, do me a favor, Brady. If you want to come back on the show, just stop with the nonsense and the bullshit, because now I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to have a toasted waffle with some Haagen-Dazs ice cream on it, and I'm going to say to myself, why did you let this guy made you turn into a 15-year-old fucking jerk-off? Because that's just what I said before. I'm like a 15. I'm just like you, Brady, a fucking jerk-off, because you got me to that point. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. So anyway, Brady, if you want to come on, that's fine. But please don't none of this stuff, because I don't ever want to stop anybody from talking, even if you don't agree. If you don't agree, come on, we can have a conversation back and forth. But saying this stupid stuff and then I gotta shut up. Anyway, that's it, Manny. Nice talking to you. Nice seeing you again. And I'll see you. And Brady, good night to you. Okay.
Good night, Larry.
Yeah, good night. Good night, Manny.